And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Pro Baseball Experience, Season 31 Major League World Series. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. I'm your host, Legally Blind Gamer, and we got a couple of special co-hosts here with me tonight. We'll start with the first one, my Toro's co-GM and fellow streamer on the sim team, Bauer. How's it going, Bauer?
Hello, I have returned for the second season in a row. They haven't kicked me off yet. I'm happy to be here.
Woohoo! All right, and my partner in Sim Crime for 12 seasons now, PBE Commissioner Hummus God. How's it going, Hummus God?
What's up, brother? Yeah, we've been doing this for a bit, kind of OGs in the game. It's going to be a great night. Voyagers, Scorpions, can't ask for two better franchises to go head-to-head here on a beautiful Saturday evening.
Absolutely. And before we get started in those Major League World Series, let's take a second and talk about the Minor League World Series. Congratulations to the California Firehawks, back-to-back Minor League World Series champions. Last season beating my Puerto Rico Ranas, and then this season beating the Anchorage Wheelers. Some really good games in there. Did you guys watch that? What did you think of the series?
Yeah, it was amazing, start to finish. The Wheelers really put up a good fight with some big comebacks, and the Firehawks offense just kept being persistent, but they won it in 6 games. So the Wheelers definitely had a great show and great season for them. But yeah, you're talking about it. Firehawks back-to-back champs.
Yeah,
They're the standard right now in the minor leagues.
absolutely. There was one game with the Wheelers where they did have 2 5-run innings back to back, and that was pretty much their best performance of the afternoon. But Firehawks pitching was just pretty dominant that entire series, and Wheelers just couldn't catch up, unfortunately. But congratulations again to the California Firehawks, your Season 31 Minor League World Series champions. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on now to the Major League World Series. We have the New York Voyagers and the Death Valley Scorpions. Did a little research earlier about this, and this looks like this is going to be the rubber match between these two teams. In Season 20, they met for the first time in the World Series, and the Scorpions won that one. Then they came back again and met in Season 24, and the Voyagers won that one. And now we're in season 31, and both teams 1-1 now in the World Series. So, very exciting series here, not just for this season, but two of the biggest winning teams in World Series history. New York with 4, Death Valley with 7. You think about just those two, that's 1/3 of the entire league in World Series just between those two teams. So, great matchup here. A lot of great pitchers and batters. But before we get started, I do have some stats from the wonderful stats team that I want to read out here before we get into our first game. If we have a mod here in the chat, if they can go ahead and start a prediction here for us. The suggested
Prediction's live. It's live.
It's live. Okay, great. All
Who
right,
wins?
Prediction's already up, so if you want to go ahead and get in your channel points and make a tidy sum here in this first game, now's the time to do so. But while that is going on, I'm going to go ahead and read our stats for the series here. And starting off with, in the regular season, each team took 2 games in their home ballpark. This matchup in the World Series happened in Season 24, where New York won 4-2. Season 25 was New York's last World Series appearance, where they won the series against New Orleans, making it back-to-back World Series wins for the Voyagers. All-time, the Voyagers have won 4 World Series. Death Valley's last World Series appearance was in Season 24 against the Voyagers. Death Valley has won 7 World Series all-time, with their most recent win being Season 21. During the regular season, the Voyagers had one of the best all-around teams in the Legends, which resulted in a 70-win season. New York was first in batting average, OBP, OPS, and stolen bases. New York also did a great job pitching during the regular season with 999 strikeouts, good for first in the Legends, and the best bullpen ERA in the Legends at 3.06. The Scorpions, though, had an excellent 75-win regular season where they were led by their bats. Death Valley was tops in the champions in batting average, OBP, slugging, OPS, runs, and home runs. Scorpions' pitching is not quite as strong as their bats, but still great with a bullpen ERA of less than 3 and only allowing just over 2 walks per game. And now we're going to cover a featured batter and pitcher from each team. We'll do one of these for each of our games here, our first 4 games of the series. But we're going to start off here with New York Voyagers batter. Potential MVP candidate Benny Rodriguez has had an incredible postseason through 8 games. Rodriguez is batting over .440 with a 1.107 OPS. Rodriguez went 2-4 last game with 2 runs and 2 stolen bases in the 3-0 game 5 win over San Antonio. For New York pitchers, our first pitcher tonight is going to be Eric Bolanos. Bolanos had a respectable regular season and has turned up the heat in the postseason. Bolanos is sitting at a 2.76 ERA and fanning batters left and right, having 19 strikeouts through 16.1 innings pitched. And now we move on to DVS. DVS featured batter game number 1 is another potential MVP candidate, and Wander Franco was incredible this season at a nice WAR of 6.9. Wow. Franco has not quite kept up the same pace in the postseason, but is still having a great playoff run with an OPS of 988 and 3 triples, which is tied for second all-time in a postseason. And for our Scorpions pitchers, Remy Ratatouille has been pitching well in the postseason in terms of ERA. His 2.02 ERA looks great in the stat book, but Ratatouille has yet to see the 6th inning in the Season 31 playoffs. So, thank you so much to the wonderful stats team for compiling these, and we'll go over a featured batter and pitcher for each game coming up through games 2 through 4, I should say. But there is our stats for game number 1. Let me go ahead and pull up our predictions here and see how that turned out. All right, so submission is closed, and it looks like right now 55% are voting for DVS, 45% for New York Voyagers. I do believe the Game 1 roster should be locked in. Let me make sure there are no extraneous things in any of the team servers. All right, so we are all set for game number 1, and we're going to take this 3 innings at a time. For game number 1, we're going to have Hummus start us off with innings 1 through 3. Barrow will do 4 through 6, and I'll do 7 through 9. If we get extra innings, we'll just do 1 inning each. And we'll take a look now at our matchups. Here we go. Voyagers Scorpions matchups, and for batting, we have a 6-3 advantage here for the Scorpions. A couple of hot hitters over here on the Scorpion side as well as the Voyagers, but we do have a cold hitter right now in Trevor Duncan. And looking at our pitchers here, we have a tie look at this. Wow. Bolanos and Ratatouille both tied with 80 overall. So, with both pitchers below 3 ERA, looks like it could be a pitcher's duel, but there are some wonderful batters here as well. And I guess we're all set. Getting started with game number 1 of the Season 31 World Series. And Hummus will start us off with Kirk Swerve, our first batter up. And let me just make sure I do this here real quick. There we go. Don't want to forget that.
According to the pregame screen, and Shaq made a joke. Explain that in Fortnite terms. Well, if you want to explain the DVS lineup in Fortnite terms, they are cracked. Kirk Swerve will step up for the Voyagers, strike out.
That was a terrible joke. I hate that.
I mean, we were talking about it. Highest TP in the league. That's a Rodriguez ground out. Encarnacion with 2 outs. And that's not gonna drop. That's a beautiful dive by Ruben Ramirez of the Scorpions. And they go down in order. So DVS will bring up Wander Franco, who had an amazing MVP-like campaign. We'll see if he gets it. That's a ground out. Alderson with a walk. So 1 on, 1 out for Chris Crush. Undefeated box fighting Twitch streamer. That's another walk. 2 on, 1 out. Boss Jr. And they're going to juice the bases up for the Scorpions. Bolanos struggling. And this is a fly ball in center for the second out. Runner comes home and scores easily. DVS draws first blood in game 1 of the World Series. And a ground out from Edwards. They leave 2 stranded, but score 1. And they have a 1-0 lead. New York will bring up Jackie Daytona, who has 6 home runs in the postseason. That's a ground out. Rusty Kuntz on fire will strike out on a pitch way inside. Wolf Ruff with a fly out. They go down in order again. And we'll bring up the DVS batters, Tex Walker, AA, and Ruben Ramirez. Tex Walker, that lifts in the center. That's a fly ball and a fly out. AA drops one in left field. No hitter broken up for Eric Bolanos. Ruben Ramirez. That's a strikeout. 2 out for Franco. Grounds to the third. They get the lead runner at second. And that will end the second. DVS is holding on to that 1-0 lead. New York will bring up Rose, Groves, and Tsunami. Rose, and there goes the perfect game for Remy Ratatouille and no-hitter Will Groves. Oh. They picked him off.
Oh.
So the single was erased, and that will make it a 2-out happening so far after the Will Groves fly out. And this is deep in the gap. And that's gone for Johnny Tsunami, who ties the game with the first pitch of his at-bat of the World Series. Johnny Tsunami, Apex legend, helps his new team tied up in game 1. Kirk Swerve now with 2 outs. Nobody on. And that's a strikeout. But the Voyagers tie it up here in the top of the third. Will Death Valley score to take the lead? And that's in the good gap for Elliot Alderson, who's going to get to second pretty easily. That's a leadoff double for the Scorpions here, second hit of the game. That's going to drop for Chris Crush. Ooh, Alderson parks at third, not testing the arm of Thomas Rose. Chris Crush on the move, safe. 2 runners in scoring position for Boss Jr., who grounds out but gets the RBI, and DVS takes a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the third. Trevor Duncan, that's going to go over the center fielder's head. That's going to be the 3rd run of the game for the Scorpions. They now lead 3-1. Trevor Duncan with a huge hit while in a cold spell. And this is a line out to center from Matt Edwards. Tex Walker lifts one into right center. And that will end the third, but DVS scores 2. They lead 3-1. And I forgot who I'm passing to, but
Bauer.
Me.
Bauer.
Here we go. Top half of the 4th. Benny Rodriguez is going to lead it off, and they're going to take a lead-off walk. Just how you want to start things off to get back into this game. Encarnacion is going to hit one to left field. That's going to be the first out of the inning. Next up, hot hitter Jackie Daytona. Daytona is going to hit one just to left field, just like Encarnacion did. So that's the second out of the inning. Rusty Kuntz, another hot hitter. Rusty Kuntz is going to strike out, and that leadoff walk amounts to nothing as they go 1, 2, 3 after that.
New York struggling on offense.
Yep.
Down to the Death Valley side, just like New York, is going to lead it off with a walk, and he's going to steal second. Good as a double right there. Ruben Ramirez is going to hit one into center field for the first out. Thinks about taking off for third, but chooses not to. Broncos up as takes off for third, and he's going to get thrown out at third.
Ooh.
So that takes the runner out of scoring position, and just like that, Franco gets a double, and that probably would have been another run for the Scorpions if did not steal. Elliot Alderson is going to strike out, and that will strand the runner on second base, so nothing for the Scorpions there. Wolf Ruff is going to lead it off here for the Voyagers. They're going to fly out to the catcher. I always hate that. It's such a weird angle. Thomas Rose, number 7 hitter, is going to ground out to the first baseman. William Groves, the first baseman for the Voyagers, is going to ground out to the third baseman, except he's going to bobble it. So an error leads to a runner on first, and it doesn't matter because Tsunami... Oh, he dropped that one too?
Dropped it!
Right to the second baseman, but they drop it. Kirk Swerve is going to hit one to right field, so those 2 errors don't end up costing them. But I have not seen how many of errors like that in a while.
Yeah, that was a wild sequence.
Chris Jacob is going to lead this off with a walk, just like they seem to be doing every single inning. Mike Boss Jr., hot hitter for them. Jacob's going to take off his second. He's going to be safe. So runner in scoring position here for Boss Jr., who's going to get one past the first baseman, and that's going to bring in another run for the Scorpions to make it a 4-1 ball game. First baseman over there just watching the ball go through his legs. Trevor Duncan now. Duncan is going to ground to the first baseman. They're going to bobble it, so another error here. Edwards is going to ground it to a double play, but another run is going to come across for Death Valley to make it 5-1. The 2 outs now for Tex Walker. Tex Walker is going to fly out to the second baseman who just steals it from the pitcher there. So that inning comes to an end. Death Valley adds 2. Benny Rodriguez up now for the Voyagers. He's going to strike out to lead it off.
Offense is struggling. Only 2 hits all day for the Voyagers.
Yep. Encarnacion is going to hit one right past the third baseman. Nice quick line drive for a single there. So 1 on, 1 out for Jackie Daytona. Jackie Daytona is going to look at strike 3 for the second out here. Rusty Kuntz got to get something going here for the Voyagers. That's the right field and caught by the right fielder. Hitting the ball hard, but in all the wrong places. Bottom of the 6th we go, still 5-1. Leading it off. Is going to get one past the second baseman for a leadoff single there. So many hits here for the Scorpions in this game. Ruben Ramirez is going to strike out. It's a 1 on, 1 out for the Scorpions. Wander Franco is going to take off for second, and it's another stolen base. 6 already in the World Series, or in the playoffs. Wander Franco is going to strike out for the second out of the inning. Elliot Alderson is going to hit one to right field, and that's going to be fairly easily caught, and we head to the top half of the 7th.
And here we go. New York coming up here. Bark Bark Wolf Ruff is our first batter up. And they're going to strike out for out number 1. And that'll bring up Thomas Rose. Rose will take a walk here, and that's 1 on, 1 out for Groves. Groves swings at that one, and strikeout number 2. Johnny Tsunami. And they're going for the steal at second base, and they're going to get it. Runner now in scoring position for Tsunami. That's going to go down the left field line. That's going to score 1 run. Johnny going to second, and he slides in. That's going to be an RBI double. 5-2 now. Voyagers need to get some offense going here, and that might be an infield single. Yes, it is, as we have runners now at the corners. And that one's going to go into the gap, and Rodriguez is going to bring 1 home. Rodriguez bringing 2 homes, and that's going to be safe, and that's going to be a 2 RBI double. Score is now 5-4. A 3-run inning here at the top of the 7th for the Voyagers. Encarnacion, and that's going to be a base hit. Will the runner come? Here he is in the throw. It's not going to be in time, and it is now a tie game. 5-5 Voyagers Scorpions. Oh my goodness, with 2 outs, yes. And this looks like it's going to bring it to an end here, as that's a fly out to right field for Jackie Daytona, but 4 in the inning. Voyagers now tied up. Stretch time now for the Scorpions. Middle of their lineup here. Jacob up first. Jacob strikes out looking for out number 1. Hot hitter Mike Boss Jr. Mike Boss Jr. swings at that one. Big swing and a miss. Out number 2. Trevin Duncan. And 3 strikeouts in a row. And Big Rig Tig O'Sullivan getting it done here in the bottom of the 7th for New York. And we're going to get a leadoff strikeout here from hot hitter Kuntz. And that'll bring up Bark Wolf Ruff. Wolf Ruff, this is going to go out into the center field for a fly out number 2. Groves now with 2 outs to the second baseman, makes the play, and that'll retire the side. Bottom of the 8th we go, still a tie game. DBS coming up now. Former Dynamo Matthew Edwards here will strike out for out number 1. Tex Walker. Walker striking out as well, and Tig O'Sullivan on fire here. 5 strikeouts in a row. And look at that. 2 perfect innings here from Tig O'Sullivan. Getting it done for the Voyagers. Hanging on here. Trying to either push it to extra innings or get something right here at the top of the 9th. And this is a towering shot towards deep center field. And that is caught at the wall. Whoa. Out number 1. This is into the gap in center field. That will be a single here for Johnny Tsunami. Top of the order now, Kirk Swerve, 1 on 1 out. Swerve will take a walk here. Good call on that walk. Rodriguez now, 2 on, 1 out. Rodriguez, this will drop in front of the right fielder. Runner coming home, and the throw is not in time as New York Voyagers take the lead 6-5 in the top of the 9th. We still have 2 runners on here, 1 out. And this is going to be a 6-4, but not the 3 as they get unable to get the double play on Encarnacion. Jackie Daytona, deep drive towards right field, but that is caught, and that will retire the side. But New York got the go-ahead run they needed, and now it's DBS's turn. Number 9 hitter, number 1, number 2, Ramirez, Franco, and Alderson. Ramirez, and that's going to be a fly out for out number 1. Top of the order now, Wonder Franco. And that's over the shortstop's head, and Wonder is on base. 1 on, 1 out now for Mr. Robot, Elliot Alderson. And Mr. Robot strikes out. 2 outs now. Last chance here.
Run at the plate. Chris Crush.
Jacob. And this is to left field, and what a diving play, and that's going to do it as the New York Voyagers take game 1 in the top of the 9th inning, getting the go-ahead run and getting this one 6-5. Wow. What an amazing comeback. What an amazing game number 1. What an amazing series so far. Let's go ahead and take a second here and look at the batting stats here for these 2 teams. Starting off with New York, 2 hits and 3 RBIs for Rodriguez, 2 hits and an RBI for Encarnacion, 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 RBIs for Johnny Tsunami, possible player of the game over there. Looking at the other side here for Death Valley, we do have 2 RBIs each from Mike Boss Jr. and Duncan, as well as 2 hits from Moving down now to pitching, New York, no decision here for Bolanos. O'Sullivan with the great performance there. Look at that, 8 strikeouts in 3.1 innings. Wow. O'Sullivan with the great win there. McDonald getting the save. And for Death Valley, no decision from Remy Ratatouille, who only went 4.2 innings. Troy Pressing gets the loss and the blown save. Player of the game, Johnny Tsunami. Wow, what a game number 1. Let's make sure to save that.
Definitely got our money's worth.
Yes.
That comeback was insane. Benny the Jet Rodriguez. And
Wow,
Johnny
only game 1, man. Only
Johnny
game 1.
Tsunami.
We're getting more.
All right, let's go ahead and take a second here and take a look at both teams. I'm sure they might want to take a look at their stamina for their... It really won't matter for the starters, but for the relievers, we're going to start off here with Troy Pressing, who is at 36%, and this is for DBS here. Poe Scott is at 87% rested. Busta Baxter is at 27% exhausted. Stephanie Morgan is at 100% rested. And Yakul Red is at 100% rested as well. So it looks like they only used those first couple of relievers in that one. Now we're going to move over here to the Voyagers and let them take a look at theirs. And just to confirm, it is 100% rested on that one. We're going to go back real quick to Death Valley and show that their number 2 is at 100% as well. Going back over here to the Voyagers pitching. Flame McDonald is at 89%. Gunk is at 100%. Evil Dictator is at 100%. Samson Price is at 100%. And Tiggle Sullivan is at 30% RP exhausted. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and check in now in the management server, see if we do have any updates from either teams. And I do have a tag here from Enoch. Oh, I just wanted to see the stamina check. There you go, Enoch. That was covered there for you. Okay, so I've been given a picture with some changes here that New York wants to do. So let's go ahead and start on those. We have Flame McDonald, Stopper, 8th and close, high leverage. Stopper, 8th and close, high leverage. Then we have Samson Price, middle, use more often. Middle, use more often. That's normal there. We'll set that one to use more often. Next one is Gunk. Gunk is middle, use more often. Middle, use more often. There we go. And then we have Evil Dictator, middle, normal, long. So middle, normal, long. There we go. And then finally, Tiggle Sullivan, middle, use less often. Middle, use less often. There we go. And take a look at those, Enoch. Make sure that those are set correctly for you. I'm going to check back over here in Discord. All right. So it looks like the Voyagers are good on their settings now. And we'll move over here to the Scorpions and check on their channels, see if Caltroit Red Flames or Person Man have any updates here for us. And it looks like Red Flames is good as well. So we are all set for game number 2. And so we'll go ahead and move over here back to the scores, and we'll take a look. Just do this one more time. Take a look at the managed game. Look at the matchups here again. Same matchups, except this time now Justin Sims does have the advantage at 80 overall versus 78 overall for Johnny Toasties. And Hummus, if you want to do the prediction for the second game, I'll go ahead and read the next stats here. And let me just pull that up real quick. Here we go.
Prediction is combined innings pitched from starting pitchers 10.5 over under. So combined innings pitched 10.5 innings over under.
Now,
and 5 people are in so far total.
So
6 now.
Really, it had to
7.
be 2/3 over since they only have the third innings. So it'd have to be 1/3 or below.
Yeah, if it was 2/3 or more,
yeah,
that count as 0.5. Yeah, because it's 0.6. So.
Right. All right, so here's our stats for game number 2. We're going to start off with our New York Voyagers batters. Game number 2, Kirk Swerve could be fighting his teammate Benny for MVP, as he also had an excellent postseason. Swerve has kept the momentum going in the postseason, as he is batting over 320 with an OPS over 800 through the first 2 series. Ignacio Encarnacion, oh, that's the next one, excuse me. New York Voyagers pitching. Johnny Toasties probably didn't have the regular season he wanted, but he has been great in the playoffs. 2 quality starts and 3 postseason appearances with an ERA of 2.76. And for DVS batters, steady Elliot Alderson had a great regular season in terms of WAR in his 3rd straight 400-plus OBP season. The postseason has not been nearly as kind to Alderson, who is hitting just above 150 and has struck out in almost a third of his at-bats. Look for Alderson to bounce back this series. And finally, for DBS pitchers, Justin Sims didn't have the best regular season, but is having a better postseason. His 3.46 playoff ERA is better than his regular season ERA, but like teammate Ratatouille, Sims has yet to see the 6th inning. The hooks are out in full force down in Death Valley. So there we go. There is our info for game number 2, pitchers and batters. We're going to move back over here and take a look at, let me look at one thing here. Okay, so I think the way we're going to do this one is I will, let's see, I finished the last one. So I'll start this one, Hummus. You'll be 4 through 6, and Bauer will be, wait, which way? Yeah, Bauer will be 7 through 9. And we'll get started here with game number 2. Both teams are locked in. Let me just check one more time in Discord, make sure we don't have any last-second changes. And we are all set to go. Game number 2 with Kirk Swerve, our first batter up. Oh, let me change the, that reminds me, let me change the thing here real quick on the, where is it? And we'll set this to NYV taking game number 1, and the top tracker now is fixed. There we go. And Kirk Swerve, our first batter up, game number 2. Here we go. Voyagers with the come from behind win, game number 1, to take that first one. And this one's they're gonna go out into the pocket in left field. The shortstop's gonna grab that one, and that'll be out number 1. This is going to be a fly out towards right field, out number 2 for hot hitter Rodriguez, and now Encarnacion. And that's going to be down the left field line. They could get 2 out of this, and that's a stand-up double for Encarnacion. That'll bring up Jackie Daytona. 2 outs, runner in scoring position, and that'll drop in front of the center fielder. And here he comes. Coming home is Encarnacion, and that'll be an RBI single here, and New York first out on the leaderboard. This one hit right to the first baseman, and that will be out number 3, leaving the runner stranded. We now move to the bottom of the first. DBS up now, down by 1. And leadoff hitter here, Wander Franco will take a walk, and that'll bring up Mr. Robot, Elliot Alderson, who we just talked about in the pregame. And Elliot's going to fly out here to center field. Runner still at first, 1 out. Chris Jacob now. Jacob striking out, and that is out number 2, and that brings up a hot hitter, Mike Boss Jr. And what a diving catch by the left fielder there. Who was that? That was Rose. Rose making the great play there to keep the inning alive, or to finish the inning out. And we're now back to the Voyagers. This one's hitting the gap on the right side, bouncing against the wall, and this is going to be a double here, leadoff double for Bark Bark Wolf Ruff. And Thomas Rose, who made that great play in left field earlier, will get the walk here. 2 on now, no outs. And Voyagers looking to strike early here. And we get the 4, the 6, and the 3, and we get the double play here. But the runner does advance to third. Johnny Tsunami up, hits the third baseman, and he's going to beat out the throw. The weak throw by the third baseman there by the Scorpions, able to get the infield single and the RBI as well. And that makes the score now 2-0. Second baseman gets that one and finishes off the side. But New York now 2 1-run innings in a row. DBS down by 2. And shortstop going way out into the left field. Wow, it was like almost in his regular position there. Matthew Edwards now to the third baseman, throws across, makes the play, out number 2. Tex Walker. Walker past the first baseman, and Walker will have a single here with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Walker going to second, and Walker's going to slide in with the steal. Runner in the scoring position now for And will take the strikeout looking, and that'll finish off the side. Top of the third now we go. Voyagers still up by 2. This one to the second baseman, and out number 1 here for Rodriguez. Encarnacion now, and that's through the hole in the left side there. That'll be a base hit. 1 on, 1 out here for Jackie Daytona. Daytona, hard hit ball into the gap on the right side. This could score 1 here. Runner, no, they stay. 2 runners in scoring position now. 1 out. Hot hitter Rusty Kuntz. And this is going to be a fly out to center field. Is the runner going to tag? Yes, they're coming home, and the throw is not going to be in time. And 3 innings in a row now. The Voyagers have scored at least 1 run. Bark Bark Wolf Ruff, 1 runner in scoring position still with 2 outs. This one to the third baseman, and that will finish off the side. But Voyagers on a hot streak here. DBS needs to get some runs in, and here we go, bottom of the lineup, Ruben Ramirez. Ruben striking out, and now top of the order, Wander Franco. And Franco, and that'll bounce off the wall over in left field. Franco coming in for a double. Runner in scoring position now for Elliot Alderson. And Elliot will take a walk here. 2 on now, 1 out. And this could be possible trouble here for the Voyagers. And this looks like it's going to be a fly out here to left field. Runners do not tag. Hot hitter Mike Boss Jr., 2 on, 2 out. And Mike Boss strikes out. And that'll retire the side as we now move to the top of the 4th. Voyagers up by 3, and here comes Hamascott.
Voyagers in control, 5 hits to 2. They've scored in every half inning so far. And that's going to be a base hit for Thomas Rose on the opposite side in front of the right fielder. Rose takes off in there safely, so Groves has a runner in scoring position. Takes first with a walk, so 2 on, nobody out for Johnny Tsunami. Strikes out looking on a full count. It was a 66-mile-an-hour cutter, Kirk Swerve. rips one, drops it in left field, and will bring home the runner. They have now scored in every half inning. It's
Wow.
4-0 over the Voyagers. The Kirk Swerve RBI single. Benny the Jet, the 6-4, but not the 3. You got to think his speed helped him out there. Encarnacion with 2 outs. And he grounds out to the pitcher. But the Voyagers score another run. They've done it every inning. It's 4-0. DVS. Trevor Duncan, Matt Edwards, Tex Walker. Trevor Duncan. Oh, and the errant throw from Johnny Toasties allows Duncan to reach second due to the error. Strikeout for Matt Edwards. You got Tex Walker with a runner in scoring position, 1 out. And that's going to be a nice sliding grab by Thomas Rose, former star, making plays in the World Series, AA, with a strikeout swinging. And we'll go to the top of the 5th. Voyagers up in the series, up in this game, 4-0. Jackie Daytona, Rusty Kuntz, bark, bark, woof, rough. Jackie Daytona grounds out Rusty Kuntz with a pop-up to center. It's going to be caught for the second out. Woof, rough. Woof, rough will fly out to second. Goes to the right field grass. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th in a 4-0 ball game. Ruben Ramirez trying to get some spark here for the Scorpions offense. That's a leadoff double, 3rd hit of the game for the Scorpions. Franco. That's going to be a line out to second. Nice play to get out there in the grass by Benny the Jet. Alderson will ground out, but runner moves to 3rd. Jacob, a full count walk, and it's in the dirt. So Bosch Jr. with runners on the corners. Bosch Jr., that's deep! And that's good. With one swing of the bat, they are now within 1 run, a 2-out, 3-run shot by Mike Bosch Jr. Gets the Scorpions on the board and now down 1 with 2 outs. Trevor Duncan steps into the batter's box. That's going to be a ground out, but the Scorpions are back in this game with 1 swing of the bat. Bosch Jr., 5th home run of the postseason. Thomas Rose strikes out. Will Groves here in the top of the 6th will strike out as well. Momentum shifting for the Scorpions here. Johnny Tsunami also strikes out. Stephanie Morgan strikes out the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Scorpions with all the momentum down 1. Oh, a nice play from Benny, but the errant throw allows Edwards to reach. Walker grounds out. Well, they get the lead runner at second. And Walker on the move. Safe. So AA with Walker on second. AA will fly out to center field. Ruben Ramirez with 2 outs. And that's deep! And Ruben Ramirez gives his team the lead. That's a 2-run shot. 3rd homer of the postseason for Ruben Ramirez. Easily the biggest one he's hit here in the World Series to take the lead. And they were down 4-0. Now have scored 5 unanswered runs. 2 outs for Wander Franco. And he lines out. But what a wild couple innings for the Scorpions. They now have the lead. We'll go to the 7th with Bauer.
Exact opposite of what happened in the last game. This time the Scorpions are the ones coming back. Kirk Swerve is going to lead it off here for the Voyagers in the top of the 7th. He's going to ground out to the pitcher. That'll bring up Benny Rodriguez. Hitting .415, but strikes out there looking for the second out already. Encarnacion, the catcher, is up next. Ignacio is going to ground out to the first baseman, and there's going to be a quick 1-2-3 inning there. So no answer there for the unanswered runs there. 5 for the Scorpions. Elliot Alderson is going to bloop one over into right field for a leadoff single. Very nice to start off the top or bottom half of the 7th. Chris Jacob hitting 189 is going to ground out to the shortstop, and they will not turn the double play. So Jacob takes Alderson's place at first. Mike Boss Jr. is going to fly one out to right field for the second out of the inning. So 1 on, 2 out, Trevor Duncan. And Duncan is going to walk here. So runner in scoring position here for Matthew Edwards, the DH. That's going to be a high fly ball into left field. And that's going to be caught right at the wall.
Wow.
Could have been another big inning there for the Scorpions, but they come up scoreless there. Alrighty, Jackie Daytona is going to lead it off here for the Voyagers. 6 outs to get back in this game. That is going to be a strikeout. Rusty Kuntz, hot hitter. Kuntz is going to ground out to the second baseman. Quick 2 outs here in the top half of the 8th. Wolf Ruff is going to strike out, and there's going to be another 1-2-3 inning for the Voyagers. After scoring in 4 consecutive innings, they've had no answer. Tex Walker is going to lead it off here for the Scorpions. That's going to be a leadoff strikeout. Up next. Been a menace on the base paths. And you'll have to watch out here as will get on base with a walk. Ruben Ramirez, and there goes and he's safe. So runner in scoring position now for Ruben Ramirez. Ramirez is going to fly out to center field. It's going to be caught. 2 outs now for Franco. Franco's going to hit 1 to right field, and that's going to be caught. So that'll strand on second base. And we will head to the top half of the 9th. Last chance for the Voyagers here. 3 outs, 1 run in between them. Strikeout for Thomas Rose. That is 1 down. Groves up next. What can Groves do for the Voyagers? That is going to be a fly ball into center field, and that's going to be caught. A leaping catch there by the center fielder. Johnny Tsunami is going to strike out, and just like that, this World Series is back to a tie. Scorpions are going to take this one 5-4 in an insane comeback game. Actually getting out hit there by the Voyagers, but just coming in more clutch. On the Voyagers side, Encarnacion, Daytona, both having a couple of 2-hit days there. Mainly just balanced offense there from the Scorpions. Nobody really stands out. I mean, Mike Boss Jr. had that big home run, 3 RBIs. And Ruben Ramirez getting a couple hits and RBIs as well. Pitching side, Gunk is going to take the loss there. Morgan's going to get the W, and Scott is going to get the save. Player of the game is Stephanie Morgan.
And there we go. 2 games in the books now. Let me go ahead and update the tracker up at the top there. Give me just a second.
The series tracker's updated as well, the document. We give you options for how you want to see what's going on, and maybe check out the tracker to see how we got here. Scorpions came in as an underdog on paper because they didn't win their division. The Serpents did. And now find themselves tied with the Voyagers 1-1. After a beautiful comeback, like Bauer said, the series of comebacks so far.
Yeah, that's insane.
Both
Each team
teams
did the exact same thing.
Yeah, fighting, having to claw back, no pun intended, for the Scorpions and the Voyagers.
Oh, no.
Yeah, managing the treacherous waters of a deficit.
And I'm just working through oops, wrong team. And looking through the stats here, the stamina for the pitchers, just checking them all so that the GMs can see in the,
What's up with the tracker?
Stream here as well. Looks like most of the DBS relievers are... Oh, there's one that's tired.
Oh.
Stephanie Morgan, who had the great game earlier, and Yakul Red is completely rested. So there is...
Series 1-1, right?
Yep.
Yeah, LBG you put on the top of the screen.
You're right. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Hold on just a second.
Blue's here helping us out in chat. What's up, Blue?
What up,
Good
Blue?
to see your player in the World Series, former Vandal. We were talking in the I guess it was like a pregame hangout. Shaq was in there for a bit. Those Vandals teams were really fun.
All right, so we got some more changes here from the Voyagers, so we're going to go ahead and get those in real quick. And starting off here with Samson Price, middle, use more often. Middle, use more often. There we go. Evil Dictator, middle, normal, long. Middle, normal, long. Gunk is middle, normal. Gunk is middle, normal. And then Tig O'Sullivan, middle, normal. Middle, normal. And then finally, Flame McDonald is middle, use less often. Middle, use less often. There we go. And let me just go and do a file save, and we'll check in Make sure that is correct for the Voyagers, and we'll now look over at the Scorpions. Scorpions have pinged me as well. Okay, so it looks like Scorpions are good, and we're just waiting on Voyagers to confirm they are good. They are good as well. So we are all set now for game number 3. The series is tied at 1 apiece, and we'll go ahead and pull back up our matchups here. And while that is going, I'm not sure if Thomas has already started the prediction for game number 3, but I will go ahead and read our batter and pitcher stats. And for game number 3, we'll start off here with the New York Voyagers. And Ignacio Encarnacion had a great regular season and is arguably playing his best baseball in the postseason now. Over a 360 batting average and 1.120 OPS through the Voyagers' first 8 games, including a 2 RBI performance in Game 5 against the Sloss. And for their pitchers, Pax Abadir has had 2 quality starts in his only 2 postseason appearances after coming off a respectable regular season. Abadir, like the other starters, is sitting below a 3 ERA at 2.92. And for our DVS batters, Tex Walker had a breakout season for Death Valley during the regular season and is playing well in the postseason. Mr. Ranger's batting average is over 340 and his OPS sits at 1.010. And finally, for our DVS pitchers, Herbie Farnworth added almost 2 whole runs to his ERA in S31 compared to season 30, but has since subtracted it right back for the playoffs. Farnworth has the only winning decision of any DVS starter this postseason and has a 2.70 ERA. So there we go. There's our stats for game number 3. We're going to pull up our predictions now and see how those are going. And predictions have closed. And in this one, it's going to be over at 51%, under at 49%. And we're going to go ahead and get started here with game number 3. Let me just make sure we do a file save here. And let me think about this one here. So it's going to be Bauer starting us off here for the 3rd game. The Scorpions and the Voyagers. Voyagers playing at home now, 3 games straight, splitting the series in Death Valley. And our first batter up is Wonder Franco, and Bauer, take it away.
First game here in New York. Voyagers did everything they could over in Death Valley, and they come back 1-1. About all you can ask for on the road. Franco is going to ground out to the first baseman to start off game 3 here. Elliot Alderson, the catcher. Alderson is going to strike out. Quick couple of outs here for DVS. Chris Jacob. Jacob is also going to strike out, so Abadir doing really well here in this first inning. Leadoff man for the Voyagers, Kirk Swerve, the shortstop. And that is going to be right over the third baseman's head for a leadoff single. Now we have very hot hitter in the playoffs, Benny Rodriguez, 405 average. And that is going to be a pop out to, I guess that was the third baseman that took that.
Yeah.
Encarnacion is up as Swerve is going to take off for second base and be safe. So now runner in scoring position. That's going to be a ground out to the third baseman, however, and the runner will not move over. Jackie Daytona is going to hit one into center field, and the runner is going to take off for home. And the Voyagers are going to take a lead here, 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Big hit by Jackie Daytona. Rusty Kuntz is going to hit one right up the middle as well. Daytona does not head for home, though, so runners on the corners here, as Wolf Ruff is going to hit one in the gap, and that's going to bring that runner home and possibly another. No, the runners stay, so still a runner on second and third. 2-0 lead here for the Voyagers. Thomas Rose is going to strike out. Possibly more damage could have been done there, but a nice early lead here for the Voyagers.
Big half inning, way to start. Just like last game, though.
Yep. All right, Scorpions looking to answer back, because that's going to be a very deep fly ball to center field for the first out of the inning. Trevor Duncan is going to hit one right past the first baseman for a 1-out single. Matthew Edwards, the DH, is going to hit one into center field, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Tex Walker, hitting 304 in the playoffs. And that's going to be to the first baseman, and that's going to be a ground out. So not a 1-2-3 inning. DVS finally getting a hit there, but still nothing coming across the plate. William Groves is going to ground out to the second baseman. Johnny Tsunami, number 9 hitter, is going to strike out. 2 quick outs there. Leadoff man Kirk Swerve. Swerve is going to have a swinging bunt to the pitcher, and it looked to be safe, but I guess they were thrown out. Might have hit the the umps to check that one again.
Like half a step or something.
Yeah. Alrighty, top half of the third here. That's going to be a little blooper right over the shortstop. Look for to be moving again, like I said last game. That's actually going to be a ground ball to the second baseman. That's going to be a double play there for Ruben Ramirez. Franco is going to hit one to center field, and that's going to be another scoreless inning for DVS here on the road. Going to the bottom half of the third now. Trying to get some more insurance for the Voyagers. Benny Rodriguez is going to take a leadoff strikeout. So one out here. Ignacio Encarnacion is going to hit a fly ball to center field. That's going to be the second out of the inning. Jackie Daytona is going to hit a little liner to the second baseman, and that will be the third out of the inning. So we will send it to the top half of the fourth.
And here we go. Death Valley. Mr. Robot, Elliot Alderson, and he's going to hit one right in front of the catcher who grabs the ball and gets the play, out number one. This one's hitting to the gap on the left side, and Chris Jacobs going to be on with the double. Stand-up double there for Jacob. Runner in scoring position now for hot hitter Mike Boss Jr., and the second baseman went way out into the outfield to grab that one, out number two. Duncan now. Duncan will strike out, and that leaves the runner stranded at second. Bottom of the fourth we go now. Voyager's still up by 2. Rusty Kuntz, hot hitter Kuntz, and the second baseman goes into the outfield, grabs that one. Rose right to the second baseman again, who's getting some good action this inning. And this one down. Oh, what a play by the right fielder there. Oh, my goodness. Who was that? Let's take a look here. That was Ramirez, Ruben Ramirez, with the amazing dive there to stop the inning. And Death Valley coming up here. This one's going to be a fly out to the shortstop, out number one. Tex Walker. Second baseman goes to the outfield for out number 2. And with 2 outs. In the hole on the right side, and will be on with a base hit. Will they go for steal number 8? This one to the second baseman. Runs over, makes the play themselves, makes the tag, and that'll retire the side. Halfway through the game now, still 2-0. Leadoff strikeout here for cold hitter Groves, and now Johnny Tsunami. Tsunami to the first baseman, tags and gets the out number 2. Top of the order, Kirk Swerve, as we get a pitching change. Busta Baxter coming in for Death Valley, and they'll get a strikeout, and that'll retire the side. Top of the 6th we go now, DBS up. Down by 2, top of their order, Wonder Franco. Franco looks like he got hit. No, that was a walk. Wonder Franco getting the walk there. Runner on now. And Mr. Robot, they'll get the runner at first there, but the runner advances to second. 1 on, 1 out here as the shortstop goes way out into the outfield for the second out. And now hot hitter Mike Boss Jr. Mike Boss going to the right field, and that is over in the flags in the right field side, as that is a 2-run blast, and that ties the game up 2-2. Mike Boss Jr., 418 feet. And here we go. There's still 2 outs here. And that's a base hit. And we'll get a base hit here from Duncan. That'll put a runner on for Matthew Edwards. And Matthew, they'll get the runner at second, it look like, and that'll retire the side. We now move to the top of the 7th with Hummuscott, score tied 2-2.
Oh, this is what you play for.
I'm sorry, keep going.
You got to do the bottom. No, take the bottom.
Okay, all right. Voyagers, this looks like a base hit. Sorry about that. I went a half inning early. Leadoff base hit. They're going for the steal, and they're going to be safe. Rodriguez in on the second. Encarnacion, and this will be a fly out towards left field. And runner tagging going to third. They're going to be safe. Runner now at third with 1 out. Jackie Daytona. Infield playing in here, and Jackie Daytona striking out. 2 outs now for hot hitter Rusty Kuntz. Kuntz to the first baseman. Right at the bag, makes the play, retires the side. Now we move to the top of the 7th. 2-2 tied score with Hummus.
This is what you play for. A tie ball game in Game 3 of the World Series. That's a good gap shot for Tex Walker, who slides in with a double A now, with a runner in scoring position with no outs. That's a strikeout for double A. Ruben Ramirez. 0 for 2, make it 0 for 3 in the game. So 2 out now for Franco, who drops one in front of center field. And the runner comes home to score. It's Tex Walker, and the DVS and the Death Valley Scorpions, I should say, take a 3-2 lead with 2 outs.
Oh!
And a beautiful, beautiful diving grab in right by Jackie Daytona. So DVS scores one. New York Voyagers haven't scored since the first, need to score one to tie it. There's a ground out for Wolf Ruff. Thomas Rose with a pop out. Miss Obvious, if you're watching, you're not listening, so you stink. Will Groves with a strikeout. That ends the 7th. We're going to the 8th. Chris Crush, Mike Boss Jr., Trevor Duncan. Jacob below the Mendoza line here in the postseason. That's a nice walk, though, to start off the top of the 8th. Boss Jr., that's a fly ball near the warning track, caught for out number 1. Trevor Duncan, one on. Jacob on the move. Safe. Duncan with a runner in scoring position. That's a strikeout. So Matt Edwards, 0 for 3 in the ball game, hitless. Will stay that way. That ends the 8th. They leave a runner stranded. Bottom of the 8th, Johnny Tsunami hitting below 200, hitting 179 in the postseason. And that's going to drop at the left field wall, and that's going to be a standing double to start us off in the bottom of the 8th. He represents the tying run, Kirk Swerve. That's going to go past the first baseman. Johnny is going to score, and it's a tie ball game. The Voyagers haven't scored since the first, and they tie it up with no outs recorded yet here in the 8th. That's going to be a line out for Benny the Jet. Encarnacion, there's a fly ball at the warning track, caught. Kirk Swerve is going to advance to third. Jackie Daytona gets under it, but flies out, and we're going to the 9th in a tie game here in Game 3. This is what you play for. This is what you work for, and we're here to witness it. Very entertaining baseball. That's a strikeout for Tex Walker, Double-A, with 1 out, nobody on. Having a pretty good postseason, hitting out of that 8th spot, 2 for 3 in the game. That's going to be deep, hit the center field wall. He got pretty much all of that one in dead center. That's going to be a sliding double. Ruben Ramirez in Double-A takes off, and he's thrown out. What a play by Encarnacion, and Ruben Ramirez strikes out the Voyagers.
Wow.
Gets a great heads-up play by Encarnacion, puts heat behind it, and now the Voyagers have a chance to win in the 9th. That's a strikeout for Kuntz. Wolf Ruff, here in Game 3 in the World Series, can hit a home run to win it. That's going to be a ground out. Thomas Rose, not known for power, 1 homer this postseason, strikes out swinging. We're going to the 10th with Bauer.
Oh, my goodness. You cannot ask for more in the World Series. Wander Franco is going to lead it off here for the Scorpions. It's going to be a leadoff walk. Any offense at all is all you need. Alderson is going to strike out. The 1 out here. Chris Jacob, see if he can make the ball jump. That's going to be a ground out to the first baseman, and they will not turn the double play. Jacob gets to first base just in time. Mike Boss Jr. And Chris Jacob is thrown out trying to steal the rare pitch out. You don't see that very often. That was, wow. All right. William Groves up for the Voyagers. That's going to be a leadoff single into center field. See what Johnny Tsunami can do to bring them home. Tsunami is going to strike out. So 1 on, 1 out, Kirk Swerve. Swerve is going to walk. So 2 on here for the Voyagers. Benny Rodriguez.
Here we go.
Rodriguez is going to hit one to the first baseman, and now you're going to turn the double play. The runners on first and second there. Rodriguez grounds into the double play, and we have another free inning of baseball.
Great defense.
And here we go. Middle of the lineup, Mike Boss Jr. We've got a bunch of Twitch subs. We'll take care of that here at the end of the game. We've got a level 2 hype train going if anybody wants to get more subs in, as we're going to get a strikeout here from Duncan, and that'll be 2 outs for DBS. Matthew Edwards coming in now, and that'll be 3 in a row, and that'll retire the side. Voyagers again with another walk-off opportunity here. Encarnacion, Daytona, and Kuntz. Encarnacion starting us off. And that one's hit down the left field line. We're going to get a leadoff base hit, going for 2. Look at the roll on that ball. Wow, going for the triple. And they get the triple off the roll down the left field line.
Triple.
That was crazy. And that's going to do it. That's going to do it as the New York Voyagers get the hit there with the infield playing in, and that will retire this game as New York Voyagers win game number 3 in dramatic fashion, extra innings, getting the walk-off here in the bottom of the 11th and get the score of 4-3. Jackie Daytona hit a walk-off run-scoring single versus Poe Scott. Wow, what a series. All right, let's take a look at our batting here for Death Valley. Starting off, we do have the home run there from Franco with 2 walks. We do have 2 RBIs from Mike Boss Jr., 2 hits from Duncan, and 3 hits from Over on the New York side, 2 hits and an RBI for Kirk Swerve, 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Jackie Daytona. Looking now at the pitching for Death Valley, Herbie Farnworth, no decision. Troy Pressing getting their second blown save, and Poe Scott taking the loss there with the walk-off. New York's Abadir, no decision, and Evil Dictator getting the win, their first of the postseason. Player of the game with 6.0 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 94 pitchers is Pax Abadir. So, New York taking the advantage here in game number 3. Now let me take a second here let me go ahead and first save.
Hi, Thad, by the way. Wanted to say hello to Thad Thrasher.
And we're going to start off
our
here
video
with our...
head. Double videos right now, by the way. While you're here watching, make a video, get double the pay. Sorry.
No worries. We're going to start off here with our subscriptions that we had during the end of the match here. Starting off with Punk42AE, 5 months with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, Punk. Josh is Jewish, coming in at 9 months with Twitch Prime. Josh says, baby. Thank you so much, Josh, for 9 months. Looking now at Shaq, giving a Tier 1 sub to Addison. Thank you so much for that, Shaq. And I think that was it. There we go. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move now to our next sim day and take a look now at the pitching. We are now moving into the second time around for the starting pitchers. So this is going to be crucial here, looking at their stamina. And we're going to start off here with the Voyagers with Bolanos. Bolanos is at 100% rested as the starter for the Voyagers. Moving on now to their relievers. Price at 100%. Evil Dictator at 31%. Gunk at 49%. Tig O'Sullivan is completely rested at 100%, and Flame McDonald is at 84% rested. Now we're going to go over here and check the Death Valley Scorpions. Their scheduled starter is Remy Ratatouille, who is at 100% rested. Moving over here to their relievers, Troy Pressing is at 38% tired. Poe Scott is at 67% slightly tired. Busta Baxter 36% tired. Stephanie Morgan is at 66% slightly tired, and finally Yakul Red is at 100% rested. So there you go. There is the stamina information for both teams. Now I'm looking over, and I do have pings from both teams here for updates. So we're going to start here with the Voyagers first, and Voyagers do have some bullpen changes here. So we'll go ahead and take care of that first. And starting off with Flame McDonald of Stopper in 8th and close game. Flame McDonald Stopper and 8th and close game. Next one is Tig O'Sullivan, middle, use more often. Middle, use more often. Next one is Samson Price at middle, use more often. Middle, use more often. And then we have Evil Dictator at middle, use less often. Middle, use less often. And then finally we have Tony Gunk, who is middle, use less often. So we'll go here to Gunk, middle, use less often. And there you go, Voyagers. That should do it for your bullpen changes. Now we're going to go over here and take a look for the Scorpions and see what their changes are. And they're asking, make red normal use. Please take the batter limit off of Remy as well, please. All right, so we'll go ahead and change those for the Voyagers, or the Scorpions, excuse me. And so the first one was make Yakul Red normal use, please. So normal usage, there we go. And then you asked to remove the pitch limit from Remy Ratatouille. There we go. And I believe that is it. Not the pitch limit. Oh shoot. What was your pitch limit? I'm sorry.
It was at 130.
130. All right.
Yeah.
Oops. And he's saying the batter limit, not the pitch limit. Where's the batter limit?
Strategy, I believe.
Ah. Right. And that was for Remy. Was that? Yeah, Remy. And we'll go over here to player strategy. Remy Ratatouille. And batter limit. Here we go. Batters faced, and you said remove that. So we'll go ahead and remove that there and hit enter. And is that the one you were looking for, Caltroit? It needs to be set to 0. All right, there we go. Make sure to hit enter as well, so it saved it for you. All right, so looks like Voyager or Scorpions are all good. I got one last thing here from Voyagers. They say they are all good. So we're going to go ahead and move on now to game number 4. And we'll pull up the matchups here. And I do have one last set of info here from the stats team for our 4th game. Let me go ahead and pull that up here. And there we go. All right, starting off with our New York Voyagers. Voyagers batters, Jackie Daytona had a good regular season, hitting for over 20 home runs in his 5th straight season. Daytona has had an impressive power in the playoffs, 6 home runs, and is at 2 home runs away from tying the single postseason record for home runs. For pitching, mid-season acquisition Flame McDonald has made himself right at home in New York. A great regular season for the Voyagers has translated into good postseason success with a 3.38 ERA and 10 strikeouts in just 5.1 innings pitched. Oddly enough, McDonald has been tagged with the only loss the Voyagers had in their first 2 series. And for DBS, on their batter side, Trevor Duncan was another Scorpion who broke out in a big way during the regular season. However, Duncan has been ice cold in the postseason, having only 2 hits in 25 at-bats. And for our DBS pitcher, Troy Pressing was lights out in the regular season and has had a good postseason. Pressing has only allowed 1 run in his last 3 appearances while accumulating 10 strikeouts in just 7 innings of work. So there we go. Game number...
Can you update the top of the...
Yeah, I sure can.
Yeah, 2-1 Voyagers.
Fix that real quick. There we go. All right, and so we are all set. Let me just take one last look again at the Discords for both teams, and they are all locked in, ready to go. And so we're going to get started here with game number 4, and Hummus will be our first one up, with Wonder Franco, our first batter for the Scorpions. Game number 4. Oh, did we get the predictions? Let's check the predictions here. Forgot about the predictions. Pulling up predictions now, and it was stolen bases 3.5. We had over at 48%, under at 52%. So under just slightly above over, and Hummus, Wonder Franco, take it away.
Out of the park.
Let's get it. Game 4. Voyagers up 2-1. Shaq with the sub. Thank you, Shaq. 2 months now. That's going to be a grounder and a ground out for out number 1. That was Wonder Franco. Alderson with a fly ball and a fly out. 2 out for Chris Crush. And we'll line it out to center. What a grab by Johnny Tsunami. The forward extension. And we'll go to the bottom of the first. Swerve Rodriguez, Encarnacion in a tie game. That's going to be a no-hitter broken up and perfect game broken up by Kirk Swerve on the first at-bat. Kirk Swerve on the move in there safely, so Benny the Jet hitting .383 in the postseason will fly out to right center for out number 1, Encarnacion. Blue line. That's going to be a base hit past the shortstop. Runner coming home. And he scores. Swerve scores the Voyagers' first run of the game. That's an RBI by Encarnacion. Jackie Daytona drops one in right field. It's back-to-back base hits. 3 already in this half inning for the Voyagers. Kuntz with a ground out, but both runners move to scoring position for Wolf Ruff, who drops one in left. That's one going to score. The second one coming across is also going to score. The Voyagers jump out to a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. And Wolf Ruff takes off but gets gunned out by Elliot Alderson. What a throw. Maybe that's the spark they needed because Voyagers have all the momentum right now. Bosch Jr. And there's a base hit breaking up the no-hitter thrown by Eric Bolanos so far. Duncan with a walk. So 2 on for Matt Edwards. That's a grounder. What a play at third by Wolf Ruff, but both runners moved to scoring position for Tex Walker. That's a strikeout, double A. Can he bring the first run home for DVS in this game? And that's deep. And are you kidding me? He ties it up. It's 3-3.
Out of the park.
Double A hits his first home run of the postseason. Could not have come at a bigger time than this. It's a tie ball game. 3-3.
Man. Wow.
Yeah, this has been an incredible series. That's a walk for Ruben Ramirez. Wander Franco. And Ruben is on the move, and he's safe. So Franco strikes out swinging, but double A and the Scorpions, tied up. Now the Scorpions stole momentum by quieting the crowd in the top of the second. Bottom of the second, Thomas Rose starts off with a standing double. So they respond with a leadoff double. Groves will ground out Tsunami, who's hitting 195 in the postseason, lines out to center field. Kirk Swerve will slow roll it to the pitcher and ground out, and that will end the second. DVS tied it up in the top half. We'll go to the third. Alderson not having a good postseason hitting-wise, but that helps your average. That's a base hit. A leadoff single for Alderson. Jacob with a walk. So back-to-back base runners now. Bosch Jr. with a ground out. Both runners advance. Duncan. And that's going to be a line out to left. What a grab. That's a web gem. That's Thomas Rose. Matt Edwards. That's going to drop at the center field wall. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. And the Scorpions jump out to a 5-3 lead here in the top of the third with 2 outs. And that's going to be deep. That's going to be Tex Walker with a 2-run blast, 399 feet going the opposite way. And you blink once, the Scorpions score 4 runs here with 2 outs in the top of the third. Down 2-1 in the series with a chance to tie it up the way the offense is playing. And that's going to drop for a base hit for Double A. And they're rolling right now here in the top of the third. Ruben Ramirez, but the stolen base is safe. So Ruben with a fly ball, and that's going to be caught. And DVS has scored 7 runs in the last 2 innings, and they lead 7-3. Benny Rodriguez, that's going to drop for a single. And the Voyagers got their work cut out for them here. Down 4. Benny Rodriguez on the move. Oh, and the errant throw, so he gets to go to third. And just like that, the Voyagers have a runner 90 feet from the plate. Now they have 2 on with no outs for Daytona. And this is an infield pop-up. And that's going to be caught for out number 1. Rusty Kuntz with 1 out. Another pop-up. This is the center. Runner coming home.
Oh.
And he's gunned out. The 8-2 double play here in the World Series. DVS got all the momentum. We'll go to the 4th with Bauer.
Yes.
Nice. I got it right.
As we can see, anything can happen in this World Series as Franco's going to lead off this top half of the 4th with a strikeout. Anything and everything has happened. Elliot Alderson is going to hit one into center field, and that is going to get down on the warning track, and that is going to be a double. So runner in scoring position already here for Chris Jacob. Jacob is going to hit one, a little blooper, and the second baseman is actually going to take that in shallow right field. So 2 outs here for Mike Boss Jr. Boss Jr. is going to look at ball 4. So runners on first and second here, 2 outs. Duncan is going to strike out and strand those couple of runners. Good job by Big Rig Tig O'Sullivan to get out of that jam. Wolf Ruff is going to lead it off here for the Voyagers. He's going to lead it off with a little pop-up to center field for the first out of the inning. Thomas Rose, web gems all around in this series. That is going to be a little pop fly to center field as well. So 2 outs here for the Voyagers. William Grove going to hit one. Nice play by the shortstop, and he just beats out the throw. Nice play there, but couldn't throw him out in time. That's going to be a little ground ball to the third baseman, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. Scoreless inning there for the Voyagers. See what the Scorpions can do here in the top half of the 5th, and that's... Did he just jump over the ball?
He did. That's what it looked like.
Okay, well he makes up for it by making a nice play to second base there. I'm a bit speechless. That's going to be a stolen base there for Tex Walker, their 8th of the playoffs. Is going to strike out, so 2 outs here for the number 9 hitter, Ruben Ramirez. Ruben, it's going to be hit up the middle. Second baseman thought about catching it, decided not to, and Tex Walker is going to come all the way around home to make it an 8-3 ball game. Nice clutch hitting there by Ruben Ramirez. Franco up now. Franco's going to ground out to the shortstop. And this inning half inning comes to a close, but the Scorpions tack on another run. Kirk Swerve trying to get something started here for the Voyagers. That's not how you want to start it, though, as that's going to be a fly ball to right field for the first out. Benny Rodriguez. Rodriguez is going to pop out to the third baseman. We've had like an insane amount of those weird foul balls. Ignacio Encarnacion, that is always going to trip me up. It's going to take a walk. Jackie Daytona is going to ground out. It's a slow grounder to the shortstop, and they cannot make the play. Runner on first and second here. Rusty Kuntz going to ground to the second baseman. Thought about throwing it to second, but decides to throw to first, take the easy out, and that will end that half inning. Still no score for the Voyagers there. Alderson is going to make the first out of the inning. Chris Jacob is going to hit one into center field, and that's on the warning track, and that's going to be a double. Nice slide in there. So 1 on, 1 out for Mike Boss Jr. as Chris Jacob takes off for third, and he's going to be thrown out at third. So that takes the runner out of scoring position, and Mike Boss Jr. strikes out. So they thought they had something cooking there, but they quickly neutralized that. Wolf Ruff now. Wolf Ruff deep to left field, and that's gone. The first time they have scored since the first inning. 8-4 ball game now. 428-foot home run from Wolf Ruff. Finally getting something going here for the Voyagers. Thomas Rose is going to see what he can do after that, and that's going to be up the middle, and that is going to be a base hit. So possibly something cooking here for the Voyagers in the bottom half of the 6th. William Groves. Thomas Rose takes off. He's going to be safe. So now a runner in scoring position. What can Groves do? Groves looks at a walk. So now you got 2 runners on for the number 9 hitter, Johnny Tsunami. Johnny Tsunami's going to strike out for the first out there. Kirk Swerve. Swerve is going to hit one into right field. It's deep, and it's gone! A 449-foot home run from Kirk Swerve. Now they're only down by 1. Benny Rodriguez is going to strike out for the second out of the inning. Encarnacion is going to take a walk here. I cannot believe this game. Jackie Daytona up next. Daytona is going to strike out, but it was a 4-run half inning from the Voyagers there. 8-7, top half of the 7th. Take it away, LBG.
Oh my goodness, what a game. What a game. They had a big advantage here. Only down by 1 now are the Voyagers coming back. As we're going to get a leadoff walk here from DBS. And we're going to get 2 walks in a row now. Duncan and Edwards on, and that'll bring up Tex Walker. Tex Walker striking out looking. And Samson Price trying to get out of this inning here. Already 2 on. There's a second strikeout by Price. And now Ramirez with 2 on, 2 out. Ramirez strikes out, and 3 straight strikeouts there. And here we go. Stretch time.
I stepped out for a second, take a little break, come back. This scoreboard's absolutely insane.
Right.
You missed a lot.
Right. 7th inning stretch time here for Voyagers, as that's going to be a fly out to deep center field. Bark Wolf Ruff now. And what a sliding catch by the left fielder. That is out number 2. And the left fielder getting some great workout in here. 1-2-3 inning. Top of the 8th we go. DBS still up by 1. Top of their order here. Wander Franco. Franco down the right field line. This could be a double here. Coming in for 2. And they're going to be in with the stand-up double. Runner in scoring position. No outs for Mr. Robot. They'll get a strikeout here. Chris Jacob. Chris Jacob over the shortstop's head. Runner could come home. The throw is not going to be in time, and that's going to be an RBI double from Chris Jacob. It is now 9-7 with hot hitter Mike Boss Jr. coming up. Runner in scoring position, and they're going to get a strikeout here. Oh, runner's at first, excuse me. 2 outs now, runner first, and shortstop going way into the outfield to get that one, and that is out number 3. And here we go, 6 outs remaining. New York down by 2. Number 8 hitter, Groves hitting to the second baseman, out number 1, Johnny Tsunami. As we get a pitching change here and Poe Scott comes in. This one to the third baseman, has to dive and grab the play and makes it, going all the way across the diamond. What a play by the Scorpions third baseman there. And a strikeout looking from Kirk Swerve, and just like that, 1-2-3 inning. Top of the 9th we go, DBS up by 2. Matthew Edwards. Edwards, strikeout. Out number 1, Tex Walker. Tex will strike out as well. And Flame McDonald trying to finish this out here. 2 outs now. And this one's hitting to the gap on the left side, and is going to get on with the double here. Will try to go for the steal for third. This one hits the shortstop, makes the play at first, and will not have a chance as the side is retired. And here we go, bottom of the 9th, down by 2. We have Rodriguez, Encarnacion, and Daytona. Rodriguez first. Strikeout here, and Poe Scott trying to get the DBS out of this game and tie the series up. Encarnacion with 1 out. Encarnacion, hard hit ball towards deep center field, going back to the warning track, makes the play, out number 2. Jackie Daytona, 2 outs, last chance here. To the second baseman, goes to first, makes the play, and the series is now tied as the Death Valley Scorpions win game number 4 and tied the series 2-2. What a game by Death Valley, coming back there, getting 9 runs, 13 hits. All of these games have been close. Look at even this one. Even with 9 runs by the Scorpions, Voyagers put on 7 of their own. So great close performance here by both teams. Let's go ahead and take a look at Death Valley's batting, though. We have 2 hits from Mr. Robot, 2 hits and a RBI from Chris Jacob, 2 hits, 2 RBIs from Matthew Edwards, 2 RBIs from Tex Walker, and 3 hits and 3 RBIs from Over on the other side for New York, 2 runs, 2 hits, 3 RBIs for Kirk Swerve, 2 hits for Jackie Daytona, 2 hits, 3 RBIs for Bark Bark Wolfruff, and 2 hits for Rose. On the pitching end for Death Valley, Remy Ratatouille takes the win here, gets their first win of the postseason, going 5.0 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, no strikeouts, 118 pitches. Poe Scott gets their 4th save of the postseason, and for New York, Bolanos takes their first loss. Player of the game is So there we go. Game 4 is in the books. We'll go ahead and do a file save here, and we'll take a look at pitcher stamina for game number 5. Starting off with the Scorpions. Their scheduled starter is Justin Sims, and Justin Sims is at 100% rested. Going through their bullpen here, Pressing is at 60%. Yakul Red is at 24% exhausted. Poe Scott is at 16% exhausted. Busta Baxter is at 58% slightly tired. And finally, Stephanie Morgan is at 98% rested. Moving on now to the Voyagers. Their scheduled starter is Johnny Toasties, and Johnny Toasties is 100% rested. Moving now to the bullpen, Flame McDonald is at 31% exhausted. Samson Price is at 33% exhausted. Big Rig Tig O'Sullivan is at 13% exhausted. Evil Dictator is at 69% slightly tired. And finally, Tony Gunk is at 69% slightly tired. So there is the stamina for both teams. Now I'm going to check in here to Discord and see what we have. All right, so we have, starting off here with the Voyagers, we have Johnny Toasties pitch count of 100. So let's go ahead and change that here. Adding 10 to their pitches, and then batter's face of 27. So let's go ahead and go into the strategy for Johnny Toasties. And you said batter's face of 27.
Out of the park!
There you go. And then also, looks like Enoch has a bullpen change here as well. So we'll go ahead and get that knocked out of the way. Let's go back over here to pitching. And starting off here with Evil Dictator, middle, normal, long. So Evil Dictator, middle, normal, and then long. And then next up is Samson Price of middle and normal. Samson Price of middle, middle and normal. And then next one is Tony Gunk, middle and normal. Middle and normal. Next one is Flame McDonald, middle and use less often. Middle and use less often. And then finally, Big Rig Tig O'Sullivan, middle, avoid high leverage. Middle, avoid high leverage. There you go, Voyagers. Your lineup is now set for the bullpen. Taking a look now at the Scorpions, see what their update is. Please set Walker, Jacob, and Ramirez to +4 stealing instead of +5. Alright, so they have 4 different player strategy changes they need done here, so we'll go ahead and take care of that. Starting off with Why is this not in order? There we go. And you wanted +4 stealing. So +4 stealing. There we go. Next one is Walker. Tex Walker. +4 stealing as well. And then we have Chris Jacob. Jacob. +4 stealing. And then finally Ramirez at +4 stealing. There we go. And so that is set now for you, Scorpions. Let me know if there's anything else I can change. And we'll take a look now at the Voyagers as well. Enoch, any changes here? And I do have a ping in general.
You apparently moved the wrong wrong
Did I?
strategy
Oh,
set.
no, I did.
You moved base running. Yeah.
Shoot. All right, let me go back, and I'm so sorry. Let me fix
You're
that.
fine.
Give me a second.
Chat caught it, so we're good. Master
good.
sheet.
All right, so let's start again. We're going back to and I did that. We want to set that back to +5, and that was +4 for that one. Next one was Walker, and we'll set this back to 5. Set this one to 4. Next one is Chris Jacob. Set this one back to 5, and this one to 4, and then finally Ramirez. Ramirez set to 4 as well. Sorry about that. There you go, Caltroit. Anything else that I can set here for you? Let me go do a file save on this one as well. And Voyagers have update. They are all good. Now checking in on the Scorpions. All right, so Scorpions are good as well, so we'll go ahead and move on now. If you want to go and do a prediction for Game 5, I'm not sure if you already started that one or not. Let's go ahead and take a look here in Twitch chat, see how that is going. And it's total walks 5.5, over under 58% at 3,000, 42% at under. And so there we go. We're going to go ahead and take a look now at our matchups. And the Scorpions have the advantage here in the pitching with Justin Sims over Johnny Toasties, but it is still a 6-3 matchup here. And let me think here for just a second. This is game. Oh, let me change the update the top banner as well. There we go. All right. So game number 5. Let me think about this here. So that would be Hummus starting off with this one, I believe.
Let's get it.
And let me think about this. I did the last one. Yeah, I think that's right. And then Bauer, then no. Yeah, I'll be middle, and then Bauer will be the end on game number 5. All right, so Hummus is our first announcer here. Wonder Franco, our first batter. Game number 5. Here we go. Tied 2-2.
You're not starting? You sure you're not starting?
No, I did game 4.
Okay, let's do it. Game 5 here. It's tied 2-2. Wonder Franco, former Apex, and a full count goes opposite field with a solo shot to start the game. It's 1-0.
Out of
already some action. Alderson, nobody on. There's a base hit, so pretty efficient 2 hits so far. A home run and a single. As a strikeout for Jacob. Boss Jr., who's hot. 16 RBI in the postseason. That's a base hit past the shortstop. So 2 on, 1 out for Trevor Duncan, hitting 128. That helps your average, though. There's another base hit, and this is an RBI single for Trevor Duncan. It's 2-0. DVS over the Scorpions here in Game 5. It's tied 2-2, and that's deep in dead center. That's a home run. That's a 3-run shot for Matt Edwards, 4th of the postseason, most of the team. And that's a pretty big one. They're up 5-0 here in the early going. Only one out recorded. Johnny Toasty's not having a good night so far. Already pulled for Evil Dictator now. After only recording one out, this should spell trouble for the Voyagers bullpen going forward. A strikeout for Walker. Double A also strikes out. So Evil Dictator gets them out of that situation. Voyagers with a mountain to climb to get back in this game. Kirk Swerve will ground out. You could say these are probably the most treacherous waters they've faced in the series so far. There's a strikeout for Benny the Jet. Encarnacion with 2 outs. And they break up. The Justin Sims no-hitter. That's Encarnacion hitting .383 in the postseason. Daytona. It's going to be a line out to center. That ends the first. Voyagers leave one stranded. They get one hit. And it's still 5-0 DVS. Ruben Ramirez with a strikeout looking. Now the test will be how long can they keep Evil Dictator in the game. Wander Franco, that's going to drop, hit the left field wall. That's a double for Wander Franco, having a great postseason. Elliot Alderson. That's going to drop and hit the left field wall as well. That's going to be an RBI. It's 6-0 Scorpions. They are dominating here early in Game 5. Chris Crush. This is a fly ball. Left fielder gets out there, makes the grab for the second out. Mike Boss Jr. with a grounder and a ground out. The Scorpions score another. They're up 6-0. Voyagers with only one hit so far. Need to get something going to get back in this game. Rusty Kuntz. It's going to be a grounder to short and a ground out for out number 1. Wolf Ruff hitting .255. Will strike out looking. Justin Sims dealing right now so far. Thomas Rose. That's a strikeout looking as well. They go down in order. We're in the top of the third. Trevor Duncan. That's a walk. Evil Dictator approaching the orange part of his stamina bar. Matt Edwards with a fly out for out number 1. Tex Walker with 1 on. And a pitching change, Tony Gunk. That's a walk. Full count walk for Tex Walker. Double A with 2 on will strike out. So Ruben, 0 for 1 in this game. Make that 0 for 2. Gunk gets out of that jam. They leave 2 stranded. We'll go bottom of the third. Voyagers still scoreless here. But that helps. That's a Will Grove single on the left side. So Johnny Tsunami not hitting well, but getting his average up there. That's back-to-back base hits for the Voyagers offense. Kirk Swerve with a walk. So they base the juices up here in the bottom of the third with their best hitter up to bat, and he drops one. That's going to be 1 RBI, 2 RBI, third run home, and they score 3. So he clears the bases, but he tries to get too much out of it and tries to get the triple, gets thrown out. But the Voyagers are on the board with 3 runs after the bases clearing double by Benny the Jet, and that's going to be an out from Encarnacion. Jackie Daytona, though, with a double tying run on deck for the Voyagers. Kuntz is up to bat, will strike out, but the Voyagers score 3 thanks to Benny. We'll go top of the 4th, the LBG.
And here we go. This is a fly out here to center field. Out number 1. Hard hit ball towards right field, going back towards the warning track, and that is out of here. Wow, score is now 7-3 on the blast there by Elliot Alderson.
Out of
and
the
it is
park.
now 4-run differential. This one hit down the left field line. Chris Jacobs going to get a double out of this one. Slides in. Still 1 out. Runner in scoring position for hot hitter Mike Boss Jr. Mike Boss past the third baseman. Coming home and the throw. Oh no! The catcher wasn't able to get the ball. That's going to be an error.
Fumble,
and a run
bumble.
scores.
Throwing error.
Wow, a throwing
That's
error.
rare from
That
the
is rare.
outfield.
Yeah, from the left fielder. That's crazy. As we get a strikeout here, 2 outs, runner in scoring position, Matthew Edwards. And Matthew will take a walk. Tex Walker now, 2 on, 2 out. And Walker will get a walk. And oh boy, juices base for who had the player of the game earlier. To the second baseman. And then right on the bag as they make the play and able to get out of that one. Wow. But DBS gets 2 more on the board. It is 8-3.
Price with the comebacker catch. That's a beautiful heads-up play by Jackson Price.
Right? And this one's hit right to the first baseman, and Wolf Ruff is out. Tyler Rose now, and hit past the center fielder up against the wall, and that's going to be a stand-up double. Runner in scoring position for Groves, William Groves, and into the gap in center. Runners now at scoring positions. At the corners, Johnny Tsunami to the first, back to the second, but not to the first as the runner comes home, and that's going to be a score. 8-4 now, two outs, one on. And this one right to the third baseman, and Kirk Swerve is thrown out, but New York finally gets another one on the board. Has the score now 8-4. Top of the fifth we go. DBS. Ramirez, hard hit ball, but line drive right to the right fielder, out number one. Top of the order, Wander Franco. Franco strikes out. 2 outs now for Mr. Robot, Elliot Alderson. And Elliot will take a walk here, and that'll be 2 outs, 1 on for Chris Jacob. Jacob, hard hit ball towards right field. Look at that one go. Oh my goodness, that is out of here. A 449-foot shot. 2-run blast, and it is now 10-4 DBS. Taking the 6-run advantage here, and Mike Boss Jr. coming back up. 2 outs. Hot hitter Boss Jr., and this is going to fly out to right field, and Voyagers finally get out of that one. We now move halfway through the game. Voyagers up in the bottom of the fifth. Here we go, down by 6th. And this is going to be an infield flyout here, and Rodriguez is out number 1. Encarnacion comes up. Encarnacion, this will be a flyout to left field. Didn't have to move at all for that one. Jackie Daytona with 2 outs. Daytona, this is going to be in the gap on the left side. That'll be a double. Runner in scoring position now for cold hitter Rusty Kuntz. Can Kuntz redeem himself here? Oh no, this is going to be a flyout in foul territory, right side, and that will retire the side. Top of the 6th we go now. DBS up by 6th. Trevor Duncan. Duncan to the second baseman, out number 1. Matthew Edwards. Edwards, they'll take a walk. Get the walk on the 3-2. Got the full count there to get the walk. And this one's hit in the gap on the left side. Runner coming to third. Are they turning around? Here they come. And no relay throw, and they're safe. And that is an RBI double here from Tex Walker. It is now 11-4 DBS. This one to the gap on the right side, and runners at the corners now. 1 out. Ramirez going to second is and they're going to be safe. Stolen base number 9 of the postseason. And oh boy, Juice is based. Top of the order, Wander Franco. 3 on, 2 outs, Wander. And they're going to walk home a run. And it is now 12-4. Mr. Robot, Elliot Alderson. Here we go. Moments are made like this. Elliot. And no, they get beaned.
no.
And the runner comes home beaning Mr. Robot. Oh boy.
We had a live bet middle of the game over under 19 runs because the other bet already ended. And looks like it's going to hit the over already.
Already. And Chris Jacob gets another RBI. It is now 14-4. 4-run inning here. And this one's past the second baseman. The damage continues as 1 comes in, 2 comes in, and they're both going to be safe. And it is now 16-4 DBS. Trevor Duncan, 2 on, 2 out, and another base hit. And Voyagers desperately wanting to get out of this inning here as another comes home to score. A 7-run inning. They have gone through the entire lineup now at least once. This one to the second base, and he bobbles the ball.
No way.
And the Juice is based on the ball bobble. We'll get the fumble bumble in there, and that's a base hit. That'll score a run. Still Juice is based. Oh my goodness. Coming up again. And the strikeout. And they finally able to get something going, get a second strikeout, but Juices are based here. And another strikeout. And finally, the Voyagers get out of that inning. 8 runs scored. It is now 18-4.
Looking like spring training.
Right? 14-run differential here. And this is how you get started. Bark, Wolf Ruff with the leadoff walk. Got to get something going here. And the 4, the 6, but not the 3 double play. Rose getting to first. Groves now. Groves, and this is going to be a flyout to right field. Second baseman goes out for that one. 2 outs now. We'll get a walk here from Johnny Tsunami. Top of the order, Kirk Swear. 2 on, 2 out. down by 14. Kirk swerve. And this is going to be a flyout to left center field, and that'll retire the side. And oh boy, top of the 7th we go. Bauer, take us away.
Quite the lopsided game here that I have been given to call here. Franco is going to lead off this top half of the 7th.
How's the
with a
weather in
ground out.
Chicago?
Oh, it's terrible right now. It was snowing all day. Alderson is going to get a single over into center field. Chris Jacob up next. Jacob is going to take a walk. So runner on first and second. 1 out for Mike Boss Jr. Still hot. 3 hits already, make it 4.
Whoa.
Because that's going to be a single. Now we got bases loaded
Gotta get
again.
another pitching change.
CVS is looking to do more damage.
Wow.
Duncan is going to fly out to the shortstop.
What a grab.
So 2 outs there, and Edwards is going to fly out to the left fielder. So bases were loaded there, but they get out of the jam, unlike last inning. All right, Voyagers trying to climb a gigantic mountain here in this game 5.
Man.
That is going to be the first out of the inning for Benny Rodriguez. Encarnacion is going to ground out to the second baseman. 2 outs already. Jackie Daytona is going to strike out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Things are looking very bleak here in New York. Tex Walker is going to get a lead-off single into center field. Already 20 hits for the Scorpions. Make it 21 as is going to fly one over to right field for a double. Runners on first and
They're
second.
keeping
Here's Daytona
Abadir
on.
in the game.
They are. I mean, I don't know if they have anyone else.
I don't think they do.
Ruben Ramirez strikes out, and Franco's going to hit one over into right field. That's going to bring in both runners. A 2 RBI double there for Franco to make it 20-4. Elliot Alderson is going to walk, and yeah, I don't think they
They
have.
still got a
Abadir's
whole
lucky
other
we have-
inning after this, too.
Yeah,
Yep.
we have injuries
Jacob-
off.
Yep, Jacob is going to ground out to the shortstop. They won't turn the double play here, so runners on the corners for Mike Boss Jr. Boss Jr. is going to strike out. So 2 more runs for the Scorpions there. 20-4 ball game.
63
I'm not saying-
pitches.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but
63 pitches.
that's Rusty Kuntz is going to hit a one to the warning track, just short for the first out of the inning. Wolf Ruff is going to hit one in almost the same exact spot for the second out. Thomas Rose is going to strike out, so another 1-2-3 inning there for the Voyagers. We will see what the Scorpions do with their final 3 outs here, already winning by 16 runs.
Wow.
Trevor Duncan is going to get hit, I guess. Getting pissed off over there, Pax is. Edwards is going to ground out to the first baseman. He's safe? Okay, so they tried to turn the double play there, but they couldn't get the tag on as he stepped on first base. Walker is going to fly out to the right fielder. So still a runner on second for 2 outs. That's going to be a walk. So runners on first and second now. Ruben Ramirez. 0 for 5.
90
And
pitches.
that's going to be a walk. So bases are loaded again. 96 pitches here. Wander Franco. And that is a sliding catch by the left fielder. It's going to be Thomas Rose again. Just multiple web gems this
Has a
series.
reliever ever pitched
That's got to be a
96
postseason
pitches?
record for a reliever.
Yeah, it has to be. Alrighty, last chance here for the Voyagers. William Grove's going to hit one into the gap. There's still life in the Voyagers lineup here. It's a lead-off double.
Do you believe in
Johnny
actual
Tsunami.
miracles?
Yes. That is going to be a ground out to the second baseman here, but it will move the runner over to third. Kirk Swerve is going to hit a high fly ball in the right field, and it's gone! That is going to be a 2-run shot by Kirk Swerve to make it a 20-6 ball game.
Out of the
428
park.
feet there. What a hit from him. Benny Rodriguez trying to keep the train moving. And that is going to be a walk. Encarnacion is up. Watch for Rodriguez to steal, and Encarnacion is going to strike
Way
out on a weird
inside.
pitch that looked like it was going to hit him. Jackie Daytona is going to hit one into right field, and this ball game mercifully comes to an end as the Voyagers are going to lose Game 5 here 6-20 on just an offensive explosion by the Scorpions. I have not seen a playoff game this lopsided, especially in the World Series, in a very long time. Looking at the hitting here, we have multiple 4-hit days for the Scorpions, Alderson and Boss Jr. There's just everyone getting a hit except for Ruben Ramirez, everyone getting multiple RBIs besides AA and Ramirez, there's not much more to say other than that. It wasn't even a bad day on the Voyagers side. They had 6 runs come to the plate. A really good day there from Groves as well. It's just when somebody scores 20 runs against you, there's not much you can do. Morgan's going to get the W there. Pitching line here for New York is not a good one. And you're lucky that you have an off day here to get some rest because you used everyone in the
Yes.
lineup there. 100 pitches there for Pax Abadir. That's got to be a record. Your player of the game is Elliot Alderson, and they also set the playoff game record for runs with 4.
Ouch.
Wow. I said it before. I'll say it again. We've seen literally everything in this series.
Oh my goodness! All right, well we got a bunch of stamina here. I'm sure to check here in just a second,
Yes,
especially
I'm sure
for
we
New
do.
York. Let's go ahead and move on over here to that. We're gonna get our off day here. Move on to game number 6. There we go. We'll do another file save here and take a look first at the Voyagers, and all 3 of their starting pitchers were in on that game. So let's start off with their scheduled starter, Abadir. Abadir is at 7% exhausted, of course. Bolanos is at 58% slightly tired, and Johnny Toasties is at 58% slightly tired. So if I was to pick mine, druthers there, it would be Bolanos would probably be the starter. Looking at the bullpen, though, Evil Dictator at 51%, Price at 60%, Gunk at 47%, Flame McDonald at 64%, and Tig O'Sullivan at 33%. Moving on now over to the Scorpions. Their scheduled starter is Herbie Farnworth, and they are at 100% rested. Looking at their bullpen, Troy Pressing is at 96% rested. Yakul Red is at 76%. Poe Scott is at 93%. Busta Baxter is at 69%, and finally Stephanie Morgan is at 64%. So I'm going to check in now over on the Discord and look for changes here. And starting off with the Scorpions, please put Sims in the bullpen.
Wait, there's a travel day, right? Because we're going to game 6.
Yeah, I've already moved on to.
Oh, you already advanced the day?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Big Titty Smitty. LBG's ahead of you, bro.
Yep, there it is.
Killing me, Smalls.
Just quit. Yeah. Someone mute Big Titty Smitty for the next 2 minutes.
All right, so we're going to set Sims
out.
here. We're going to change this so there's not any problems here. We're going to set this to a 2-man rotation and have Farnworth be the starter. There we go. And then now for Sims, you want it as middle relief, normal usage. Middle relief, normal usage. There you go. And is that all set there for you, Caltroit? Does that look right? And we'll now move on to Voyagers. And Voyagers. All right, so we got several things here for the Voyagers that need to be done. So let's just get through these one at a time here. Starting off with go into all relievers and remove the pitch count in player strats. Okay, we can do that. Let's start off with. Let me take a screenshot here because there's 5 of them, so I remember their names for later. Let me paste this in here. All right, so we're going to start off with Evil Dictator, and we'll go over here to the strategy, player strategy. Evil Dictator, and you said to remove the pitch count in player strats. Remove the pitch count. So we'll set that to 0. And then next one is Samson Price. Samson Price, there they are. And we'll set their pitch count to 0. Next one is Gunk. And let's see here, there's Gunk. And we'll set their pitch count to 0. After that is Flame McDonald. Flame McDonald will set their pitch count to 0. And then finally Tig O'Sullivan. Tig O'Sullivan set their pitch count to 0. Next up is next starter I assume should be Toasties. Bolanos hook his starter to number 2. Okay, so let's go back. Next starter should be Toasties. Let's confirm that. Toasties you want as the next starter. We can fix that. There we go. And make Bolanos starter. Okay, we can do that. Bolanos a starter. And let me go back here. Stamina check, actually make Bolanos starter. And now we have some changes for the bullpen. And let's go ahead and fix that as well. Everybody is middle normal except for Tiggle Sullivan. So Tiggle Sullivan is used less, normal. Remove that one there, and let me just confirm that that is what I see here on the screen. That is. And looking for any other changes. Hook as starter to +2 as well. Alright, so we're going to change Bolanos strategy. Hook as starter to +2. So it's at +1. And now it's at +2. There we go. Any other changes for you, Enoch? And let me check back over here at the Scorpions. We're all set. Actually, can you please double check that Herbie has an 18 batter limit for us? Sure, no problem. We'll take a look. Pulling up the Scorpions. Strategy, player strategy. There he is right there. And you wanted 18 batter limit. And 18 batter limit, and it is already set. There you go, Caltroit. Looking back at Voyagers. Bolanos hook a starter to make move packs to pin. Okay, we can do that. New York Voyagers pitching, moving packs to the pin, setting this to a 2-man rotation. Pax is set to. What do you want Pax's bullpen setting at, Enoch? Well, Enoch's taking that. He has to take off face batters for Bolanos. So we'll go ahead and fix that real quick. Strategy, player, Bolanos, and remove batters faced. We'll set that to 0. There you go. Non-specified, avoid high leverage. Alright, we can fix that. Pitching. Abadir, none specified, avoid high leverage. There you go. Anything else for you, Enoch? And while I'm getting Enoch confirmation, let's look over here at the Scorpions. Scorpions are all set for game number 6. Looking over here for... Okay, and Voyagers are all set now for game number 6, so we'll go and do a file save and get this one started. Alright, so, let me think. I guess Bauer go first on this one, I'll go second, and Hummus is third in game number 6 here.
Works for me.
Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the predictions, see how that one went while we were fixing the settings. Hits 21.5, and the submissions are closed. Over is at 24%, under is at 76%. So, game number 6. And alright, so I'm going to start this one off with Kirk Swerve as our first batter up. Wait, is that right? No,
you got to fix the top of the screen, LBG.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
Appreciate you doing all the changes, though. A lot of changes all night, and you've been navigating them very smoothly.
And there is that one, and we'll fix that there to number 3. All right. There we go. All right, so yeah, I was wrong about that. It'll be Bauer, me, and then Hummus. So Bauer, take us away.
Alrighty, game 6. Do or die for the Voyagers here. Headed back to Death Valley after that 20-6 win there for the Scorpions. Kirk Swerve is going to lead this off. It's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman, and that is out number 1. Benny Rodriguez is hit a high fly ball to left field, and that is gone.
Out of the
385 feet for Benny Rodriguez, and it's going to be a quick 1 run for the Voyagers here, fighting back after that huge offensive performance from the Scorpions. Encarnacion is going to take a walk, so 1 on, 1 out. Jackie Daytona is going to strike out for the second out. Rusty Kuntz looking to have a bounce back game, and Rusty Kuntz is going to strike out. So they strand that runner on first, but the big home run by Benny Rodriguez. Wander Franco is up next for the Scorpions. They're going to strike out to lead the bottom half of the first. Elliot Alderson, the catcher. Alderson is also going to strike out. Eric Bolanos having a really good game here already. Chris Jacob. And Jacob's going to take a walk. So 1 on, 2 out here for Mike Boss Jr. Jacob is on the run. He's going to be safe at second base. Mike Boss Jr. up, and that is going to be a walk. So right as I said, Bolanos was having a good start. walks, 2 hitters. Duncan is going to strike out, however, so he gets out of the jam, and it will be a scoreless bottom half of the inning there for DVS. Bark Bark Wolf Ruff to lead it off here for the Voyagers, and that is going to be a strikeout. 3 strikeouts already for Herbie Farnworth. Thomas Rose is going to hit one to the second baseman for the second out. William Groves, the first baseman. Groves is going to hit one right past the first baseman, and that is going to be a 2-out single. Now Johnny Tsunami seeing what they can do. Right to third base, and that is going to be an easy play for the third baseman, and that's the third out of the inning. Still 1-0 here, New York Voyagers. Matthew Edwards for the Scorpions. It's going to be a fly ball into center field. That'll be taken in pretty easily there. Tex Walker up next. Tex is going to strike out looking for the second out. Is going to take a walk. Been deadly on the base pass all series. And there he goes again, and is going to be safe. So runner on second here. Ramirez is going to walk, so runners on first and second now for Wander Franco. Franco's going to hit one to center field, and they will not be able to get anything going here. That is the third out of the inning, stranding yet more runners on base. Top half of the third here, looking to get some insurance from the Voyagers. Kirk Swerve is going to hit one into right field for a leadoff single. Benny Rodriguez up next, number 2 hitter. That's going to be right up the middle, and that's going to drop in front of the center fielder. Swerve all the way over to third base, and he's going to be safe. Runners on the corners here, no outs. And Rodriguez is taking off for second, so runners both in scoring position now. Encarnacion to right field, it's deep. It's not going to be deep enough, but it will be deep enough to score the runner. Encarnacion with the sac fly there. 2-0 game here for the Voyagers now. Jackie Daytona into right field, and that's going to drop. And here comes Rodriguez to the plate, and that's another run. It's an RBI single for Jackie Daytona to make a 3-0 ball game. 5 hits already here. Rusty Kuntz right past the first baseman. That's another hit. Jackie Daytona takes off for third, and we have runners on the corners again. Bark Bark Woof Ruff. The shortstop takes that in. Nice play. Run is going to score, but they do get the out there. Little sacrifice there for Bark Bark Wolf Ruff. 4-0 game now. Thomas Rose to right field. That is going to finally be the third out of the inning. Voyagers coming up big here in the top half of the third. Looking to get things going, send this back to game 7. Elliot Alderson is going to lead it off for the Scorpions. That's going to be a nice sliding catch by the center fielder there. I believe that's Johnny Tsunami. Chris Jacob. Jacob is going to fly out to the catcher there for the second out. Mike Boss Jr. still hot. And that's going to be right past the shortstop. Tried to dive and get it, but it slid right past him. So 1 on, 2 outs for Trevor Duncan. What can Duncan do? It's going to be to the first baseman. That's going to be a pretty easy play. They will take it themselves. Still 4-0 here for the Voyagers, and we'll send it to the top half of the fourth.
And here we go. Johnny Tsunami, our first batter up for New York. Tsunami, and that'll drop into right field. That's a leadoff base hit. Top of the lineup now with Kirk Swerve. 1 on, no outs. The 4, the 6, and the 3. What a nice double play there by the Scorpions. 2 outs now. And Kirk Swerve hits this one to the second baseman, and that is the end of that inning. We now move to the bottom of the 4th. DVS still down by 4. Only 1 hit so far. And this one's going to be a high shot towards the warning track. That one is caught in left field, out number 1. Tex Walker now. Tex will take a walk. A walk for Walker. Hot hitter, up. Tex going for the steal. Tex now with 9 steals in the postseason. Striking out. And we now have 2 outs. Runner in scoring position for Ruben Ramirez. Ramirez will take a walk. 2 on now, 2 out for Wander Franco. Top of the lineup here for the Scorpions.
Pitching change.
Pitching change as Samson Price comes in, and they'll get the out at first there. And that'll retire the side. Top of the 5th we go. Voyagers up by 4. Leadoff strikeout for Rodriguez, and that'll bring up Encarnacion. Encarnacion striking out, and now Jackie Daytona with 2 outs. Daytona, and a diving catch by the center fielder. And I believe that was, who was that? That was Chris Jacob. Making a great play there for the Scorpions, getting them out of that one. Halfway through the game now. Scorpions up, and that's a hit to second baseman. Mr. Robot is out. Chris Jacob. Another hit to the second baseman. 2 outs now. Hot hitter Mike Boss Jr. Mike Boss, and this looks like a flyout here. Shortstop goes to the outfield, gets that one. 1-2-3 inning here. Top of the 6th now. Voyagers up. Cold hitter Rusty Kuntz. Kuntz will take a walk. Bark Bark Wolf Ruff. 1 on, no outs. Wolf Ruff will strike out, and Morgan getting their third strikeout now of the evening, as that one is hit to left field, fly out for out number 2. And now Groves coming up, runner at first. Groves will take a walk. Now we have 2 on, 2 out for Johnny Tsunami. Tsunami hitting 180 so far in this postseason. And strikeout there from Tsunami. That'll retire the side, leaving 2 runners stranded. Bottom of the 6th we go here. DBS up. And we'll get a leadoff walk here from Trevor Duncan, and that'll bring up Matthew Edwards. Edwards, line drive to right field, out number 1. Runner stays at first. Tex Walker now. Walker striking out, and that'll bring up hot hitter Ah. 2 outs, 1 on. And Ah strikes out. And just like that, the side is retired. We now move to the top of the 7th. 4-0 Voiders lead, and here's Helmetscott.
Eric Bolanos, who gave up a few runs pitching last game in relief as a starting pitcher, comes in and starts and has an amazing outing with Price backing him up, doing well too. Swerve walks, and Swerve's on the move, but gets gunned out. So now there's 1 out for Benny the Jet, who takes first with the walk. This game's been nuts.
Right.
I seriously thought the Voyagers had nothing left after all 3 starters pitched last game. That's a strikeout for Encarnacion.
It was that off
Jackie
day that saved
Daytona.
him.
Benny the Jet is safe with a steal. Jackie Daytona will ground out. Voyagers haven't scored since the 3rd. DVS with only 1 hit here at home in Game 6.
If it hadn't been for that off day, it'd probably be over. Yeah.
Yeah, the travel day really saved the Voyagers here and could be the difference. Ramirez with a strikeout. Franco with a strikeout. Evil Dictator now in the game. Alderson with the ground out, and Evil Dictator gets 3 straight outs to help his team out. Now they can add some insurance in the 8th. If the Scorpions come back to win, they are the champs. So this is a big game here for the Voyagers. That's a fly out to left from Kuntz. Wolf Ruff got under this one at the warning track in center. That's out number 2. Thomas Rose grounds out. 1, 2, 3 go the Voyagers. Scorpions got to get something going. Down 4, only 1 hit all game. Getting shut down by the Voyagers pitchers and defense. There's a walk though for Chris Jacob. Evil Dictator dipping towards the red on the stamina meter. That's a fly out for Boss Jr. Duncan with a strikeout. Dictator still in the game, trying to push this one out. And they put in Johnny Toasties, who got pulled early last game, if you don't remember, gets the ground out. Clutch performance here all around by the Voyagers pitching staff. My goodness. Will Groves. Top of the 9th, up 4. That's a ground out. Tsunami with a line out. And Swerve drops one in center for a single. Benny the Jet will strike out. So now the Scorpions know exactly what they need to do here to win the World Series. They need to score 5. If they score 4, the game continues. Tex Walker. That's a strikeout for out number 1. Johnny Toasties, who started last game in Game 5. So far with the clutch relief outing in Game 6, that's 2 outs now for the Scorpions. And a strikeout, and the Voyagers force Game 7. After giving up 20 runs last game, they pitch a shutout. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
A miracle performance by the Voyagers pitching staff, giving up 1 hit.
Wow.
This is incredible. This is PBE baseball, folks. Oh, my. Whew. No one thought this was going to be the result of Game 6 after watching Game 5. Nobody. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you're affiliated with. You did not think that you were going to go and give up 1 hit in the entire ball game. A shutout.
Whew. 8 walks, too, and they were still able to hold on.
I don't have any words.
The off day. We talked about the off day.
Yes.
The off day was the clutchest thing to happen for the Voyagers.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, 2016 Cubs had their rain delay to win the World Series. I mean, maybe that off day was the Voyagers' rain delay.
Right? That'd
This
be
is
crazy.
that was insane.
This is awesome. This is very entertaining. Hey, should I add everyone for Game 7?
Yes.
Yes, Game 7,
Get to
baby.
the box score first.
Okay, let me finish the box score. So we got one hit on one side, 2 hits for Swerve and Benny the Jet and Will Groves. Bolano's got the start. Very evenly productive game for the pitching staff of the Voyagers. 2 innings for Bolanos, 1.2 for McDonald, 2.1 for Price, 1.2 for Dictator, 1.1 for Toasties. Very even, as well as the Scorpions pretty evenly spread as well. And the Voyagers now go to Game 7. We'll do some Voyager stamina checks as we do. Obviously, DVS will get one as well. But player of the game is Benny the Jet Rodriguez. What a crazy game.
Wow. All right, let me go ahead and do a file save here, and we'll move on to day number 7 and take a look at pitcher stamina for both teams.
Let's update that top bar. I'm going to update the series tracker.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do that as well.
Last games of the season, spend your channel points. This is your
Right.
final chance
Yep.
until
Good
next
point.
season.
There we go. All right, tracker is updated. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the stamina, starting off with the Voyagers. Now, their scheduled stamina starter here is Johnny Toasties. They're at 25% exhausted. Looking at Bolanos, Bolanos is at 5% exhausted. Oh boy, how's Abadir doing? Abadir is at 13% exhausted. So all 3 starting pitchers for New York in trouble here. Let's go through the whole list. So Evil Dictator is at 2%. Ouch. 20% for Price. Gunk is at 60%. Flame McDonald is at 29%. And Tig O'Sullivan is at 57%, with Abadir again at 13%. Moving on now to the Scorpions. And let's see how theirs look. Scheduled starter is Remy Ratatouille, who is at 86% rested. Herbie Farnworth at 1%. Going over here to the other side, Troy Pressing is at 100%. Yo Cool Red is at 73%. Poe Scott is at 4%. Busta Baxter is at 78%. Stephanie Morgan is at 30%. And finally, Justin Sims is at 68%. So there is our stamina update for both teams. Now I'm going to check in Discord and see if we have any updates for either of the teams here for Game 7. Sure, no problem. Enoch asked him to give him a minute. No worries. And we'll just let Hummus get our little announcement going here.
I already sent it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. I got to throw all of my 340 channel points. You made fun of me in the Minor League World Series. I had lost all of them.
No.
Yeah. RIP my channel points. So I'm going to put all my channel points here. That was a gutsy performance in Game 6 by the Voyagers, and can't believe we saw that.
Right. All right. So
Every game.
Every game. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this entire series has been nuts. Scorpions dropping 20 runs the game before. Never, like Bauer said, never seen a lopsided game like that in the World Series, looking like a spring training score when we have no bots.
Right.
After the first couple of games, you just knew this was going 7.
Yeah. No, it really felt like that. I agree.
All right. So it looks like Caltroit, that was the only thing that they wanted, was to change the batter's face for Remy Ratatouille, and he says that they are done. That is, they are locked in for game number 7. So we'll go into a file save now and check on the Voyagers. All right, Voyagers have a big change here for me. So give me just a second here. So they're wanting Tig O'Sullivan to be the starter for game number 7. Wow. All right, so we're going to move over here to Voyagers, and we'll go over here to pitching. We'll move everybody over. Move Tig O'Sullivan into the starting spot, 1-man rotation with Tig O'Sullivan the starter. And they have no pitch count on them. We're moving now to Gunk. Let's see here. So Gunk is middle, use more often. Gunk is middle, use more often. There we go. Also is Evil Dictator middle normal usage. Middle normal usage. There we go. Next one is Price at middle normal usage. Price is middle normal usage. There we go. And then we have Flame McDonald, middle normal usage. Middle normal usage. Next one is Abadir. Abadir is middle normal usage. Middle normal usage. There we go. Next one is Johnny Toasties at middle normal usage. Middle normal usage. And then finally we have Eric Bolanos at none specified, avoid high leverage. Specified, avoid high leverage. So there is that part for you, Enoch. Let me go ahead and do a save and then check the rest of what your changes are here. All right, Tig is starting, got that one. Remove PC from pitch count from Tig, got that one. No pitch count here. Oh, you pulled up the strategy. Let me pull up the strategy on that. And hook a starter, it looks like you have here as +1. There we go. And then you have on the second screen here 0, 0. So you have 0, 0. And that should be correct. Is that right, Enoch? Override. Ah, we need to override. There we go. Any other settings there for you, Enoch? And while we're waiting on a response from Enoch, we'll go ahead and take a look here at the predictions for game number 7. Prediction, who's going to win? Submissions are closed. We have the Voyagers at 33%, DVS at 67%, and look at that. We are at 130,000 channel points or so total in this one. So this is the biggest prediction I've seen. Did I do packs? Let me take a look. Middle relief, normal usage. Is that correct? Oh, you have the strategy. Oh no, I see what I did here. Okay, hold on. I see what I did here. Let me go back. I messed that up. Sorry about that, Enoch. Let's fix that while we're thinking about it. So you had 0 here, and that one is correct. And then you had 0, 0, hook a starter for 1 as well for packs of Abadir. So let's fix that one. Override +1, and you have 0, 0. There we go. And that one should be correct. Okay, so it looks like we are good. Voyagers are locked in, and DVS is locked in, and we're going to get started here for game number 7.
My goodness.
Wow. Went to 7 games. This is crazy. And went to 7 games last season, the season before that.
Yep,
so
back-to-back 7-game series.
Wow. All right, so the order in this one is going to be Hummus, and then Bauer, and then me to finish it out. So game number 7.
19 viewers away from 100. If we hit 100 tonight, it's unlocking a new winner for the raffle that we already have 2 in. So there's already 2 winners. We can get a third. Wow. We got game 7 coming up. For all the marbles, you play hundreds of games throughout the year just so you could play one for everything.
Whew. Well, looks like putting Tig O'Sullivan moved them from 50 down to 56 overall for the Voyagers starting pitcher. So Remy has a big advantage here pitching. Voyagers really need to get something going here on offense. And we're going to get started now with game number 7. Kirk Swerve is our first batter up. Hummus God, take it away.
Game 7. The 2 best words in sports when they're put together and combined. Top of the first, you got Kirk Swerve, your first batter for the Voyagers. That's a strikeout. Start off with a strikeout for Remy Ratatouille. It's the co-GM, Caltrioit. Benny the Jet. Having a rockin' postseason is going to hit a sliding double here. So now there's 1 out with 1 on for Encarnacion, who hits one up into center field. And Benny the Jet, using his speed, is going to tag and reach third. But, oh! Jackie Daytona was going to ground out until there was an error by Wander Franco, and the Voyagers score. An unearned run. And we'll go to the bottom of the first, a wacky way to kind of finish off that first inning. Voyagers take a 1-0 lead. Franco, who committed that error just now, starts us off with a big hit at the left field wall. That's going to be a sliding double. So makes up for it with his bat, Elliot Alderson. And that slides past the second baseman. Franco, you know he's going to score. He scores standing up. And just like that, the Scorpions tied up 1-1 here in Game 7. That's a strikeout from Chris Crush. And that's the first out of the inning, Mike Boss Jr. With one on, the 6-4, but not the 3. Interesting they didn't elect to make the throw, Duncan. And that's up the middle. That's a base hit. Runners on first and second for Matt Edwards, the DH. And that's going to go in the Guga gap for Matt Edwards. 1 run's going to score. Second run's coming across. And the second run scores. A 2 RBI double for Matt Edwards here in Game 7. That's all-star, our compendium head, Tex Walker. And that's hit hard at the third base line, but corralled and thrown by the third baseman, Bark Bark Woof Ruff. And they get out of that jam, but DVS takes a 3-1 lead. Woof Ruff strikes out. Thomas Rose, first at bat of the game, will drop one for a base hit. Oh, but he's going to go for 2. And the throw from center from Chris Jacob gets him out. What was he thinking? Will Groves will ground out. Interesting base running choices there by Thomas Rose and the Voyagers staff. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Scorpions up 2-1. There's a strikeout for Double-A. Ruben Ramirez will strike out as well. Big Rig walks Franco on a full count. 45 pitches in now. Alderson with a strikeout, and that will end the second. Voyagers need to score 2 to tie it. As a slow roller to the pitcher, Johnny Tsunami will ground out. Kirk Swerve, having an amazing postseason, will walk. Getting that on base even higher. Benny the Jet. And Swerve's on the move. And he's out. What a play by Alderson. Wow. Benny the Jet with a ground out. So they throw him out, then they ground him out. And the Scorpions hang on to that 2-run lead. And they'll bring up Chris Crush, who made that beautiful throw from center earlier. That's a strikeout looking. Johnny Toasties in the game for the Voyagers. Boss Jr. with a strikeout as well. Toasties having a good couple games here, but that's a base hit for Trevor Duncan, a single with 2 outs. So Matt Edwards, 1 for 1 with 2 RBI. That's a fly ball in left center, and that's caught. We'll go top of the fourth. Voyagers down 2 here in Game 7.
Righty, down 2 indeed. Voyagers looking to get something going here. Encarnacion is going to ground out to the second baseman. That is out number 1. Jackie Daytona, the right fielder, is going to strike out. Quick couple outs there for the Voyagers. Rusty Kuntz. Kuntz is going to hit one up the middle, and that's going to be a nice play by the second baseman. So a 1-2-3 inning there for the Voyagers. Can't seem to get anything going on offense.
Nope.
DVS up now. Tex Walker leading off this bottom half. And Tex Walker is going to send one into the right field bleachers to make this a 4-1 ball game. 432 feet.
Out of the
What a
park.
hit by Tex Walker there. What can
Tex
AA do
Walker.
after? That is another deep fly ball into right field, but that one will be caught. So 1 out here for Ruben Ramirez. Ramirez is going to hit one to left field. Nice little play there by the left fielder. So now 2 outs, leadoff man Franco up. And Franco's going to strike out. So the sole run there coming from the solo shot from Tex Walker. What can the Voyagers do to respond? Wolf Ruff is going to strike out. Thomas Rose, number 7 hitter. He's going to hit one up the middle, and that's going to be a nice little single into
2 for
center
2.
field. William Groves. Groves is going to hit one into shallow center field, and that's going to be taken in by the shortstop. So 2 outs. Thomas Rose on the move, and that's going to be a stolen base, a runner in scoring position for Tsunami. Tsunami's going to hit one to the shortstop, and that's going to be a nice play. So that will be the 3rd out of the inning, leaving that runner stranded on second base. Heading to the bottom half, Elliot Alderson is going to hit a little bunt, I guess, swinging bunt, and that's going to be taken in for the first out. Chris Jacob is going to walk, so 1 on, 1 out for Mike Boss Jr., doing everything this series. And that's going to be a single over into right field. Actually, not a single, it's going to be a double. They decide not to send the runner, so runner on second and third for Trevor Duncan. Only 1 out. Make it 2 as Duncan strikes out. Matthew Edwards, the DH, what can you do?
Oh, that was
It's
huge.
going to be a strikeout, stranding those 2 runners in scoring position. DVS looking for more insurance, but cannot get those runners home. Voyagers, top half of the 6th here. 4-1 ball game. That is going to be a leadoff ground out from Kirk Swerve to the second baseman. Benny Rodriguez up now. Rodriguez up the middle, and that's going to drop into center field for a single. So 1 on, 1 out for Encarnacion. Rodriguez on the move. It's going to be a strikeout, but it will be a stolen base as well. So 2 outs, now a runner on second for Jackie Daytona. Daytona's going to hit one to center field. That's going to be a nice running play by the center fielder to strand that runner on second. Still 4-1. Heading to the bottom half of the 6th. Tex Walker, what can she do? Tex Walker's going to strike out looking. Ah is also going to strike out looking. So 2 quick outs there. Tony Gunk coming in clutch here in the bottom half of the 6th. Ruben Ramirez, number 9 hitter. And that's going to be another strikeout looking. So 3 strikeouts looking there for Tony Gunk. We head to the top half of the 7th.
Here we go. 3 innings left. Winner take all. Voyagers up first. Rusty Kuntz to the second baseman, out number 1. 8 outs remaining. They need 3 runs. And this will be a flyout here to center field, and Bark Bark Wolf Ruff is out. 2 outs now for Rose. And Rose strikes out looking. 1-2-3 inning.
Man.
Wow. Justin Sims able to get out of that one as we go to stretch time now. Up by 3 are DVS, top of their order. We get a leadoff walk here from Wonder Franco that'll bring up Mr. Robot, Elliot Alderson. Alderson will take a walk. 2 on now, no outs. Bolanos coming in. Bolanos is already tired after just 1 batter, and that's going to be a base hit. Runner coming home to score, and that's an RBI single from Chris Jacob. It is now 5-1 DVS. 2 on, no out still. We get the 5, the 4, but not the 3, as we now have runners at the corners with 1 out. And a pass ball, and runner comes home to score, and it is now 6-1. Runner in scoring position as we get a strikeout here. 2 outs now. Matthew Edwards. Edwards over the second baseman's head. That could score another run. Here they come. Run coming home, and they're safe. It is now 7-1 DVS. Another pitching change here as Flame McDonald comes in. And Flame's going to give up a 2-run blast here as that one hits 428 feet. And Tex Walker puts him up 9-1.
Out of
2 homers on the day in Game 7 for Tex Walker.
Wow. All right, next batter. And will strike out. And that'll retire the side, but some major damage done here by DVS. A lot to overcome here by the Voyagers, down by 8. We saw an 8-run inning earlier in the series. Could happen again as this one's hit to the shortstop, and Groves is out. Johnny Tsunami with 1 out to the second baseman. Goes into the pocket, throws that one over for out number 2. Kirk Swerve now to the first baseman, right next to the bag, and makes the play. 1-2-3 inning, 3 outs remaining now for the Voyagers. DBS up by 8. Ramirez up. Ramirez will strike out looking, out number 1. Wonder Franco. Wonder Franco will take the walk, and now we have 1 on, 1 out for Elliot Alderson. Elliott will take a walk, and oh boy, with the pitching change, Abadir coming in, and Abadir's already tired as well. This could be a huge inning here, pitching-wise. The third baseman gets the out of second. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. New York desperately trying to get out of this one. Second baseman the shortstop goes to second base, gets the out. Oh my goodness, last chance here for New York Voyagers. Rodriguez, Encarnacion, and Daytona fighting for their lives here. Rodriguez up first. Rodriguez strikes out looking, out number 1. Ignacio Encarnacion. And they'll strike out as well. And Busta Baxter 1 out away. Jackie Daytona, last chance here. And Jackie Daytona strikes out, and the Death Valley Scorpions are going to be your Season 31 Major League World Series champions. beating the New York Voyagers in 7 games. What a series. Oh my goodness. Wow. Congratulations to Caltroit Red Flames and his Death Valley Scorpions in chat there. Um, good game to both teams. That was an exciting series. Lots of great action, lots of close matches. We even went into overtime and stuff, extra innings as well. So, amazing series again. It is very interesting how the PBE, at least for the World Series finals, have been so exciting the past few seasons. Very close. No real clear winner. I mean, it came down to the line, and so a great way to finish off season 31 for the Pro Baseball Experience. Let's go ahead and take a minute here and take a look at the batting for this Game 7. Running 2 hits here from Rodriguez on the New York side, 2 hits as well from Rose. Over on the Death Valley side, 2 runs and a hit for Franco, 2 runs for Boss Jr., 2 hits for Duncan, 2 hits, 3 RBIs for Edwards, 2 hits, 3 RBIs as well for Tex Walker, who got 2 runs, is probably the player of the game here. Scrolling down to pitching, O'Sullivan taking the loss, 2.0 innings pitched with 3 earned runs. Over on the other side, Ratatouille getting the win, 5.0 innings pitched, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts. Justin Sims gets the hold, and player of the game is Tex Walker. Now let's go ahead and take a look here at the playoff coverage and look to see how our series winner is, and it's going to be Mike Boss Jr. of the Death Valley Scorpions is going to be your World Series MVP. Let's take a look at Mike Boss Jr.'s stats here. 31 at-bats, 10 hits, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs, hitting .323, .382 OBP, and a .581 slugging. So congratulations again to the Death Valley Scorpions. Mike Boss Jr. getting the World Series MVP. Great series, great series. Let's go ahead and do a file save here, and we will get started uploading our results. Checking our settings here. Those 2 lines are checked. All those are checked. Moving down here to our next one. First and third row should be checked. Those 2 are checked. Let me just make sure I have no outstanding hits here in chat. I do not. All right, so we'll go ahead and get this started. And wow. All right, so let's go around the table here, starting here with Bauer. Bauer, what were your thoughts on this series? Crazy, huh?
Yeah. I was constantly saying it every game. It's like we saw everything you could possibly have. The first couple games, it's insane comebacks, and then DVS scoring 20 runs in a game. I just had a feeling it was going 7 games. I mean, obviously, you saw from the beginning of the season, DVS has had one of the most stacked rosters ever in the history of PBE. So, like this, it's upsetting if they don't win, honestly. Right. But the Voyagers, like, what a fight! You went up against the Titan of PBE and made it 7 games, and I mean, you got slightly screwed over by that 20 game or 20 run game, and it really ruined their pitching. I have a feeling that Game 7 would have been a bit closer if their pitching wasn't as tired.
Yeah,
but still,
they were able to squeeze by on Game 6 with that extra off day. But the tiredness of the Game 6 and getting those 4 of the 5 relievers in there in Game 6, that was just it. That was too much, I think.
Hell of a series though, and both teams should be extremely proud.
Right. All right, well, let's move on to Hummus now. Season 31 in the books. Firehawks and Scorpions now are World Series champions. What are your thoughts on the season, Hummus?
Yeah, DVS had the highest TPE in the league by, I think, 5,000 or so. So last season, they lost in the semifinals. This season, they're back in the World Series for the first time since season 24, if I remember correctly. So 3,000. It was like 2,000, 3,000, most TPE. So they didn't qualify last season, got in this year, and put on an incredible show all night. The offense really came to play in so many different spots, and the pitching stepped up when they needed to. Game 6 was really interesting. After scoring 20, they put up a shutout, but got it back in Game 7, putting up a lot of runs. Tex Walker, 2 homers in Game 7. It was a team effort. They're strong top to bottom. So congratulations to the Scorpions. We'll probably see you again next season in the same spot, maybe.
Well, it was interesting too because that game six, they did give up 8 walks, with that one hit included, and somehow the Voyagers' defense, time after time, they would get 2 runners on with those walks and be able to get out of those innings. That was huge. I don't think if it wasn't for the defense in that game six, the pitching was great enough, but giving up all those walks, having the multiple base runners on, still pulling out the double plays, that's really what was able to get the Voyagers, I think, into game seven. And unfortunately, they just didn't have the bullpen reserves to be able to handle the issue. Having to put in Tig O'Sullivan, as a starter, even though they were tired because the other ones were already too tired. A lot of things to take a look at and think about for next season that might, changes they might make. But Enoch has done an amazing job with the Voyagers since taking over, getting him into the playoffs. I think every season now, getting him into the World Series. Definitely one of the best GMs in the league. Caltroit Red Flames had a lot to consider when they went into this series. The Voyagers, if it wasn't the Voyagers, it was probably going to be the Sloths, and one of those two, it was pretty much the main two teams that could have given the Scorpions a run for their money. And so, really difficult path that they had. And in fact, in the first 2 rounds, the Voyagers had a better record, sweeping the Surge in that first round. Whereas DBS gave up the 1 loss in their first round versus the Stars. I think that was a difference as well earlier in the playoffs. But season 31 now in the books. We do have coming up here the draft. Speaking of the draft, when does the Majors draft start, Hummus? Is that like tomorrow or Monday?
Drafts offline. It's been going on, but
It's already
should be
underway.
coming up Thursday. Going to get with Enoch on his schedule tomorrow.
Okay.
I've already pretty much blocked off as a day to set the calendar, but usually, so don't expect anything different. This next Thursday will be the Majors draft. Minors draft will be that Saturday, and then awards will be that Sunday. Speaking of which, I need to vote.
Oh yeah.
And they close tomorrow night. They usually close before the World Series. They changed that. So
Nice.
I really appreciate that because Sunday is always my day to do stuff like this. To help.
I haven't even done my player update yet, so I got a lot.
I haven't either. I'm about to do that after this stream.
Right, get that in the voting in. Try and get it all taken care of.
I need to update the series tracker.
But yeah. So Tahiti Classic coming up in the off season as well.
Yeah, usually the Tuesday of spring training week. So
Okay.
2 Tuesdays from now, expect the Tahini. Got to get that going too. Part of my list of things to do tomorrow. Get that file up and out and get that bracket going. It should be fun. Always do a red zone style in Out of the Park 22 with the updated graphics and the ability to guide the stream how chat wants to throughout the night, with a chance to win a couple $100 million in PBE money if you can get all the picks correct. It's never been done. We keep raising the ante.
What's the closest it's come to?
We had someone get 1 off, I think. I know Big Titty Spinny's been 2 off before.
That's insane.
Huh.
Checking. I think we're checking season 30. I'm pretty sure, but last season, user Uzi got 24 out of 25 correct.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm looking at his bracket now. He had 3 of the 4 Final Four teams correct.
Oh wow! So just barely missed it then, huh?
Yeah, he had Indy, DVS, and San Antonio.
Well, I was looking for somebody to raid here, and I'm not. I'm going through my list of people online, and I'm not really seeing anybody that.
Nope.
We're the only OTP as well, so we might just want to, I guess.
MLB The Show just came out.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, so there might be some smaller streams of MLB The Show.
Let me take a look.
There's a lot. Yeah, I see a few.
Yeah, there are. I don't know really any of these people, but.
Yeah, me either. Someone from the PBE, please fire up your stream so we can raid you. Bauer, if you want to.
Where's Steel?
Right.
Where's Frosty Steel? We need him to show up online. Comeback Zach's not streaming. Junie's not streaming. Symmetric's not streaming.
All
Everyone's
right. Well, it shows here that the thing's been updated. Let me just take a look here to be sure. And refresh.
so the two champs, Scorpions, Firehawks, two teams with red as their main color, huh?
Right? I was thinking about that. It's the red winners. And I forgot to click the link to extract, so let me make sure to do that.
I got to do an announcement for the Scorpions. Gonna do that now.
All right, looks like it's extracting. And we are extracted. Let me go ahead and just hit refresh until this updates here, and we should be good to go.
We got a game 7, so the viewers got what they wanted. We were hitting over 80, so that was cool because we were starting off at a cool 40 in the beginning.
Right.
So pretty much doubled throughout the night. That's pretty awesome to see.
And just waiting on the page. There we go. All right, so we are all updated. Again, I'm your host, Legally Blind Gamer, joined by Bauer and Hummus God tonight to finish out season 31. Any last words, Bauer, before we head on out?
What a season. That's
Right?
really all I can say. I'm excited for next season, but this season has been a blast, and I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. And you as well, Hummus. Any last words?
Yeah, thank you for hosting. You did an amazing job working through everything, a lot going on. And if you haven't voted yet and you have a vote, please vote. And we'd love to get participation from everybody. But yeah, thanks for hosting once again, LBG.
All right. Well, again, hope everybody has a great weekend. It's been LBG, Bauer, and Hummus God. Congratulations again to the California Firehawks and the Death Valley Scorpions, your World Series champions for season 31. And our next stream should be at least this coming Thursday with the Majors draft. If we have something before then, we'll announce it in the Game Day channel. Otherwise, make sure you get your updates in, and GMs, make sure you get your voting as well. And everybody else, you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.